Hello and welcome to episode 13 of the Late Night Cereal Podcast. The podcast where we basically eat a bowl of cereal and talk about retro gaming and the nostalgia, like vintage toys, cartoons, movies, all that good stuff. But 13, we got to 13, so we've got to...
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, we did,
Yeah, last time we did, that was Halloween, wasn't it?
It was. God, that was like,
It doesn't feel that long ago.
That one.
Yeah, that one. It does not feel that long because these 2 weeks go by so quickly. And then we were talking about this recently, saying that sometimes we work on a kind of Google Doc between us about like what things to talk about, and the news dries up, and then suddenly after the last couple of days, loads of news.
Yeah, because I get a bit of a panic. So I look at the document, I think, I haven't added anything, because I try and work hard to try and get something in there to talk about. Like we never have enough to talk about, but and I was like looking through stuff, and I don't see nothing. And yeah, literally 2 days before we do it,
Loads.
It's like boom, 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 loads of stuff. And then there's even stuff sometimes I've added in about 10 minutes before we start this and go, we'll add that in.
Oh, I'm saying I kind of have a look before and go, oh my god, there's more. And I thought that's enough, and there's loads more. And then I kind of want to try and get to everything today. There's a few we can kind of budge together, but there's quite some fun stuff and some big news items. But before that, what have you got in your bowl?
Well, got a new cereal today, even though it's got Cocoa Pops there, but it is.
That's just broken biscuits in a bowl.
It looks like it. It looks like it. We did talk about broken biscuits today. Yeah. No, what it actually is, I got this one today. Small cereal.
Oh my word! Wow.
It's actually really nice, but it's a bit false advertisement because you can't actually make a s'mores with it because
is that actually chocolate?
They're like do you have like Nesquik ball things?
Oh, I see. Yeah, so not
like, and little marshmallow.
They kind of look like big raisins,
cinnamon things.
They look like big raisins, don't they?
Oh no! They're like.
I don't know if they look like in the bowl.
Yeah. So
I've never
tried to spill.
Wow, I can't believe that's a cereal. I'll be honest, that's somewhere I draw the line.
Just throw it all together.
You can't just add milk and it's a cereal. I mean, that's crazy. You know, if there's like a massive spectrum of the craziest cereal like that.
Yeah.
What do you think cereal I've got at the complete other end? What would you think I've got?
Bran flakes.
No, you're in the close.
Cornflakes. To be fair, cornflakes is a classic. It is a classic. But then you can have cornflakes or Frosties. And Frosties like better version of cornflakes.
Well, I remember. I think it was your day one, podcast one. You said you used to put sugar on your Frosties.
And my Cocoa Pops. And then every single time.
I can't believe your parents let you do that. Were they like just allowing you, just doing it for you?
Just only child did what I want, innit? I was like, I want sugar on it. Yes, dear, you can have whatever you want.
Whatever you want.
I don't know. I don't know why they just kind of. I don't know if I snuck it on or if they. I can't remember actually. I remember like putting the sugar on, but then the only thing they used to get annoyed at me about is because I would like sometimes. Right, you're gonna really hate this now. Sometimes I'd add more sugar. Right, so I do a layer and then I'm like, actually, there's still got a little bit left. I've had all the sugar off of it, right? So I'll put the spoon into the sugar bowl, but I wouldn't wipe the spoon clean. Like dry it up. No, it made all the sugar all like solid.
How are you still alive? This is crazy.
I don't know. Or am I?
Oh no, I've been podcasting on my own for this long.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. So you put sugar on your Cocoa Pops, for example, right?
Yeah.
Or Frosties. I'm not even going to that because that's ridiculous. They should cancel each other out. You put sugar on your Frosties. Oh, sorry, your Cocoa Pops. And then you're like, that's not enough. I need another one. And you also do not like wipe the spoon clean, so you get extra sugar from like the wet spoon now.
And then I'll get because the sugar all get like stuck together in.
Oh my god! So you put the wet spoon?
I did. Yeah, I don't now. This is young and crazy me. You know. Right. No, not now. I'm very sensible.
Apologise for your cereal war crimes.
Well, I look down at other people and I go, what are you doing that for? Excuse me. I used to put a ton of salt on everything. Now, I watch Danny put salt on. I go, all right, Danny, do you want some food with your salt? You know, I'm all like high and mighty now when I talk about it.
It reminds me of the movie True Romance with Clarence. He puts loads of sugar in his cup and someone says to him, he says to someone, I like my smooth to stand up. Like, everyone ever say, I like that. It's a nice way of putting it. But yeah, I don't do any sugar or anything like that in my tea or my cereal or anything like that anymore.
Used to put a lot in my
Yeah.
tea as well, but I don't do any of it now. I think it's one of the things where if you get used to not having it in there,
Yeah,
then you're fine with it. Is if you put it in there as like a kind of a habit rather than you really want it. It's like,
it's
I have
definitely
to have that.
It's definitely a habit,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah.
Like I remember, like I was thinking, I can't drink this without sugar because I had sugar when I was a kid, and then like when I got with Lynn's, she was like, I don't have sugar in my tea, and then it was just like, oh my god! After about a week, I can never go back to sugar. I think I had it once back, so I was like, oh, I can't do that. And
Yeah.
it's just horrible.
I think my parents or someone like a family or whatever made me a tea and put sugar in. I was like, whoa, blimey, what we put in that? It felt like they put the entire sugar thing in there.
I've said it before, but when I went to Poland I think was it Warsaw? No, it was Krakow. We went to a coffee shop and we both ordered a tea. And they don't really have tea over there, but we didn't realise that we went. And they came over with a pot of tea, but the tea bags and the water was in it, it's fine. But also the milk was in there and sugar all in one. So it's basically a big cup of tea in the pot, which I thought was the most weirdest thing. But again, like because they didn't know, and he was standing there looking over us, like, "Is that okay? Is that okay?" And I was like,
I bet you've been too nice to go.
Yeah, I know. We did the British thing of like, and then as soon as he went, "What's going on? This is terrible." Because we should have said something because now we would have broke the loop then, because that means they're going to do that to someone else. Do you know what I mean? They're going
Yeah. And then also the business goes because they're like, all the reviews are sort of saying, don't have a cup of tea from there.
But they don't know why. Every time they do it, everyone's like, oh, totally fine, because us British people don't know how to react and complain. Oh, that's weird. So, actually, I wanted to say that before we go, because we're talking about going past the cereal. We had some complaints last week about us not finishing our cereal before we start talking.
Oh, yeah.
You know who you are.
Yeah.
So I finished all my cereal. All my cereal's done. I'm not eating the bed.
Well, I just started. Did you even golf it? You go.
I know. I went raw. I don't have to.
You didn't put it in there. I reckon you put a couple of little bits in. You got two bowls there, right? You got one that's full, one that's empty, and then you're going, "Oh look, I have finished it."
That's such a good idea. When we start getting sick of the gimmick, we just do that before and after. Let's Blue Peter it. That's what we should do. But other than that, anyway.
Mine as well. Look, see.
Oh, look at that! Yeah. Oh, yours is full of those broken biscuits still. So what have you been doing on the stream the last couple of weeks?
Well, it's been a bit of a quiet week this week, but
obviously you beat Tomb Raider. Obviously, we can talk about that.
The games I played last week was I got further in Tomb Raider. I've not quite finished it yet. The thing was, I thought I think I did quite well there. I must be near the end now. And someone said, "Nah, you got loads yet."
Oh, really? Is it?
Oh, really?
Is it that big, or just because you've only had one day a week on it?
One day. Problem is, it says I've been on it for months or whatever, but because I'm literally only doing one stream a week.
It's Tuesdays, isn't it? It's a Tuesday, baby.
Yeah.
So it's the Gladiators Day. That's the reason.
Yeah. And then someone says, and then I'm not on for 1 week, and I'm like, oh, double episode, and I put it on, and I finish at like 1 in the morning, and I'm like, well, there's no point now, is there? To start Tomb Raider.
No.
It's been paused the entire time on the Saturn when I could have just turned it off.
I've been saying in a week, and I'm just going to pull this out because people in the podcast wouldn't see this, but I bought this specially for me to play this. And I know you were talking about on your stream that you saw someone playing, or you actually had a go of the first one of these, didn't you? And so I'm going to play this soon after I've played the game I'm playing now on stream. So I don't think it'll matter that we're playing this, because I'm playing a new version. At least we'll be able to compare notes.
It is quite cool with the changing of the graphic filters. You can go old, new, literally on the fly. You haven't got to do anything special. Press a button. And yeah, it looks great on the Switch. So it's quite good. And it's quite funny because he's on a level that I was stuck on for ages, and he's stuck on it for ages.
Oh, that's good.
I'm like, oh, okay, well, it's just me then.
Yeah. Do you know that 4, 5, and 6 isn't on physical on Switch? Do you know that?
No, it's well, at the moment it's digital, and I reckon it's going to be the same old thing. Limited run, I'll probably get a copy that'll come out, but I don't know how that one got physical. But the other one isn't.
There's a deluxe version of this which I wasn't bothered about, which was like 50 quid or something, and I was like, well, I'd rather have that. But I thought that they kind of just be a bit quicker with this one. But they also do that double dip, and it's like what they used to do with movies and DVD, with movies with DVDs and VHS. They have it in the cinema and then they release it physically. It seems to happen like that with video games now, where they release it digitally and then later on it comes out physically for us collectors. But with a series like Tomb Raider, which is purely, let's be honest, aiming at people who've got a bit of nostalgia and want to replay those games or whatever, or remember them back in the day. If this feels weird that they don't just release it straight away, but again, they can double dip because people might go and buy the bloody thing, mightn't they?
Yeah, well, of course we're going to, because they're going to end up doubling, because you're going to get it because you want to play it there and then, because everyone's reviewing it, everyone's playing it, people on stream are playing it, you know, stuff like that. And I think when people want to get it, and then they've got it for a while, and then they turn around and go, oh, actually, I wouldn't mind getting a physical copy at some point. Or they just comes out and goes, oh, no, there's a physical. But because you've had it for so long digitally, you can kind of feel a little bit more, I don't mind getting a physical. It's not like there's a week difference. Because if it's like only a little while, you'd be like, oh, okay, I'll wait till the physical comes out. But then when it says months, you're like, oh, I can't bother to wait that long. I'll get it later on.
Tracking with this, but I think it's an important discussion because I really want to play the new Don't Nod game, which you talked about for a while. You know, the Lost Bloom Records. I always get lost with that name. You know, the guys who made Life is Strange got a new game.
Oh, sorry. Oh, yep.
I really want to play that. Episode 1's come out, but episode 2 comes out in April. So it was a little bit of a while before the second one came out. And I'm like, I could wait until April so the 2 episodes are out. And then the amount might announce a Switch 2 version. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that's when the Switch 2 gets announced. And the probably the best bet is if anyone's going to announce the games on the system at that point, probably at that point, isn't it?
Yeah, because everyone's going to want to bring stuff out then.
Exactly. And I think like that game's going to be a Switch 2 release because it's well, and everyone else on the bigger consoles on PlayStation 5 and not 4. So I'm assuming it's going to be a Switch 2. So it stopped me wanting to jump straight on it. And again, like it might be a physical version coming out like that, but at least it might be a digital version, but it might be a physical version. I just don't know. So that's
well, it all depends how long you don't mind waiting for next episode. Because the problem is, if it was like a weekly thing, then you could treat it like literally like a TV episode where you go, "Oh, I see. I'll play the next one next week," which I think me and Danny did with The Walking Dead because I can't remember exactly, but I'm sure they didn't put a massive jump between each episode.
Yeah,
which is good because we already paid for it ahead of time. It just wasn't released yet.
Yeah,
so you kind of go, oh, you know.
I think Life is Strange was monthly, but that was like, I think it was like 5 episodes. I can't remember. But you know what's great with Life is Strange? You can actually go on Steam and play the first episode for free. That's pretty good, isn't it? And I think
there's another one on PS4. I can't remember what it's called, but same people did it. But it's like a kid pretending to be a superhero.
Yeah, that's Life is Strange 2. That's the second one, isn't it?
I thought it had another name. It was by the same people, but it had nothing to do with Life is Strange.
It's a different story, but I think it is Life is Strange.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay, fair enough then. Oh, I wasn't sure. And again, the first episode is completely free on PS4.
Same. Yeah.
Well, it's completely free. I can't remember now.
Yeah, the first episode's free with that as well. I think everyone's playing that one, but for some reason, this one just looks exciting to me. But yeah, there's a bit of a delay. It was supposed to come out a month later, but now it's coming out in April. And there's a part of me also where if I play that episode, and then it's another month, and you go, like, "Will I remember everything?" Because I've just got.
Well, yeah, but it does that TV thing previously on.
Yeah, it would do that, wouldn't it?
And you kind of go, "Oh yeah," you know, rather than just throwing you in, going. It
was one of my games. Like I'm excited to play this year, and I want to jump on it, but I keep thinking, it's only a couple of months away to the Switch's release, and it'd be quite a nice one for the Switch 2. You know what I mean? It depends when the Switch 2 is going to get released. Again, we don't want to go into like.
We always end up talking about that, even in streams.
Oh yeah. So, what have you been playing this week?
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah. So Tomb Raider, still working way through that, but I did start Onimusha on PS2.
Okay.
And absolutely loving that. I can't. Oh, want it? Did I talk about it last week?
You did, yeah. We were talking about the fact there's like the remakes and that coming out.
Yeah, so I've been playing that still. Really, I think the worst bit about that game is that because I get so into it, and then I have to literally stop streaming it because I have to go to bed. But I'm actually disappointed because I want to carry on, and that's the problem with doing games on a 1 day a week. Is certain games you kind of like, right, I want to break from that and I'll move on next game. But example, that one, I could quite happily play that every day because I'm really into it. But I have to wait till next week to come back to it. So that's a bit of a... and the other thing is me and Danielle are still working way through Metroid Prime 2.
Oh yeah, you're kind of going through those games, aren't you?
Yeah,
for that. I want to play those games at some point.
It's really good, but have a guide to hand because with number 2, you have to flip between a light world and dark world, a bit like in Link to the Past sort of style, and it gets a little bit confusing. But it's really good. We got stuck on a couple of bosses and all that lot, but we have got through it. We were taking turns on it. And that's been really good. And then what we do, instead of doing all three in a row, we do one, then having a completely different game, then do the next one, then a break, then the other game. Because
would you play Metroid 4 when it comes out on stream, or would you play on the other side of it?
It's tough, that one, because technically we can, but we have to be downstairs. Because obviously, when I do anything up here, if it doesn't work the CRT, I can't really play anything
that's a good
modern.
point, actually, yeah.
So that's the kind of way I play it as.
Oh, that's weird. Because when you went to play anything modern, you've had to go upstairs, like Alan Wake.
Yeah, because that's on the other PC, and then converting it, because I used to be able to have my PlayStation TV next to my CRT, but because I've got a bigger CRT, it's taken up all the room, so I can't put it there anymore. So unless there's a way I can hook it up, and I don't want to hook it up to my monitors because I'll be literally like this.
Yeah, you're right next to it.
And it doesn't. It's too awkward and uncomfortable.
That is weird. Oh god,
so that's the only thing we do, separate on that. But yeah, it's a bit like me wanting to do Mega Man 11. That's on the Switch, and I'm like, I kind of want to play it on the stream, but at the same time, I don't know. It's that kind of. You're trying to keep that.
You're more like dead on. I've got to just play retro. Where I'm like, I will play retro inspired stuff as well, and the odd kind of weird little indie game.
Well, I have had like ideas that when I wanted to do like say indie retro stuff, but again, it's kind of like I'll play a lot of that sort of bits and pieces offline and keep it to, because I know that with some retro games you play, especially when there's long points before you can save again, things like that. If you play it on stream, again, I think we spoke about it before, where when you play it on stream, you feel more determined to do it on stream because there's people telling you got to do it. But you feel more determined to do it on stream. But when you're offline, you can get really annoyed with the game, put the controller down, and not touch it for a week.
Did you do that with you said that you did that with Hollow Knight recently, or what you would? I've been playing it, and I think you said, you rage quit it.
Yeah, I played it when it first came out on the Switch. I can't remember how long ago that was now. I've had it since release on Switch, and I got quite far. When it gets to the boss, I kept dying. I can't remember the boss. I have no idea. And then I kind of never went back to it.
Yeah,
but I love it.
They're games that we would have loved as when we were growing up. They're those kind of games. That's what I feel like. It's good to play those, for me anyway, to play those games now, because they're not like the big Assassin's Creed games. They're those kind of indie games which fall into that.
And you can just jump in to do little bits and pieces on it. So
it's so good. But I get it. It's like it's not easy. Like it doesn't hold your hand at all, and it's a long game really. I was kind of saying to Jack,
and it depends how deep you want to go, how many upgrades you want to get.
Oh, exactly. And there's optional bosses and DLCs and all that. But I was kind of saying to Jack, just have streams where you're going to go, right, I'm just going to collect currency in this the currency. And just
you can theme it, can't you? Of what you're going to go for.
Yeah, I'm just going to grind in this one. Because it's like you can get lost and then suddenly you just wasted the whole, like, you're fine when you're playing off stream because you just learn from that and go, I've learned where to go. But on a stream, you might feel like you're stressing out yourself. So what else do you do then?
I think that's kind of been it, because so we're doing, because last week I wasn't on stream much because I wasn't well and stuff, so kind of that kind of full sort of fell apart really that week. And again, when you ain't on stream for a week, I feel like I haven't been on stream for like 2 months.
I feel like we need to bring back a fake beard when you're off for a week.
Like,
like in 24 when Jack's been kidnapped and he comes back and he's got a beard and all that.
Ripped up clothes, like you've been stuck on a desert island sort of style.
Yeah, and like was it in 24 where he has a shave and he's suddenly back or whatever, or he beats like
and his hair's all done as well. Even though he only did was have a shave, but his hair's perfect.
Everyone's perfect. That's what it feels like for a week. When you come back on stream. Oh, so my stuff then, just a couple for me to mention really. Although I've been going back on Zelda off stream, Echoes of Wisdom. I was saying this earlier today. It's one of those games because I was like, I want to beat Donkey Kong Country. But I've put that aside at the moment because at the end of the day, it's just a platform game, isn't it? You don't really need to remember when you go back to it. Just remember. No, you just
remember controls and just jump back and do a level or two. Come back another day.
But Zelda is definitely one of those games that I'll forget, even though it's a lot easier than say Tears of the Kingdom. I think I'm lost now. If I go back to that,
I've got to start over. I'm not going to go back to my save.
I might do the same. To be honest. Yeah. But Echoes of Wisdom, I think it's all right. Like I got back into it. It was like, okay, I'm in a dungeon. You're in a Zelda dungeon. I was enjoying it again. I'm going to try and beat that. I'm not that far. I still don't think I'm that far into it. Probably the third, maybe fourth dungeon or whatever. But I'm thoroughly enjoying it. So that's kind of my game. I've been playing recently off stream. I'm going to play over the weekend. But I want to talk a bit about Super Mario 64 because I talked about last time about like playing it for the first time, but I actually beat it this time round. Wow, it's so weird to say that because like I never thought I'd beat that game. I never thought I'd return to it. I always had this like high and mighty opinion, like, oh, I don't like that game. Oh, and then he went on for ages and I'd rant about it. And now I've actually played
not my Mario.
It's not my Mario. Yeah, exactly. Not my Mario.com. But it is good. It's very good. It's frustrating as hell. And I still think the controls are beyond me. And he's so scatty and he's too sensitive. Compared to all the other Mario games I played, because it's the first time he's in 3D. You can see the evolution, because when you play something like Odyssey or Galaxy even beforehand, it's incredible. It's so smooth and the camera's amazing. But the camera's always against you, and there's like some parts in that game which drive me insane. But
I've got to interrupt quickly and say, what was the turning point that made you go, oh, I actually like this? What changed your mind?
I think do you know what? It's the same thing that we've, like a lot of us retro streamers have got. That we have that kind of satisfying need for collecting things.
Do
you know what I mean?
I need all the stars. I need all the stars.
And it's like, as soon as you see a star and like, oh, I can get that if I do this.
Yeah. Oh, I can get that one.
And then make the number go up. Ooh, and that drives you. It's kind of like a Mario World, you know, when you try and get the 100%, which is what, the 96 or whatever. It's kind of like that. And then because I beat it, and I will talk about how I beat it in a minute, because that wasn't plain sailing at all. I was on it for hours. But because I beat it with 70 stars, I am going to go back and try and get the 120. I don't think I'll ever get the 120 like soon, but it's going to be something I keep going back to. And I'm 100%
but you haven't got the rush to do it. You can jump in, do 1 or 2 stars, and especially on the Switch, you can just get your hand, play a level or 2 of it whenever you feel like it, and because you've got 72 already. If you only needed 20 to complete it, it's a hell of a lot more daunting. Oh my God! How many more have I got to go? But it's not too bad, that.
Well, I'm going to have like special streams for the year, I think, or now and again, where I go, right, Super Mario 64, we're going back on that. I'm going to get some stars. And that's the big plan, is if you can get them, because they're all like hard challenges now. And that could be quite fun. Like there's one I've got to do where you've got to like Princess's slide or whatever, you got to do it really fast. I was like, okay, if I play that all day, can I do it? Can I beat it? Like, can we find out how I can do it? All that stuff. I'm quite excited because that's a nice fun challenge, which I never saw before. I was like, okay, it's good. But I will say, the last fight against Bowser, I am so bad at it. I'm unbelievably bad. And I've since watched speedrunners do it. I don't know how they do it. I don't understand. I don't know what
Is it the letting go of Bowser bit that you?
I don't know if I've got lag or something like that going through. I didn't want to say that because I thought everyone's
the old lag.
The old lag, because I'm not splitting the signal into a TV or anything like that. It's going straight into my PC. I was thinking, is there like a split second? But it doesn't feel like it. But there might be, because it's going around so fast, so it kind of matters. That is like the pinpoint where you actually drop it. But I don't know. Because the first couple of them, I got used to doing those, but also I had to basically, if you didn't know in the Super Mario 64, you probably ought to know because you've all played it before. You've got Bowser's there. You have to grab his tail, spin him around, and try and throw him into these bombs that are around the area. And the first couple of them were easy-ish because you can just kind of get right close. Don't spin them that much. But the last one, the bomb is kind of outside the arena, so you have to spin them a bit more. And that's where I had trouble. I could not position them to do it. I could not
it might be
at the same right time,
because I haven't actually played through the Switch version, so I can't actually say, to be honest. But there could be a difference with that. And also, are you using a Pro controller when you play?
Pro controller, yeah. I was thinking, like, I don't know what the difference is with that compared to the other controllers, or just playing it on the Switch. I don't know. It might just be me, and I'm just rubbish at it. But I felt like when I did it, I didn't do it on purpose. I just like at some point it had to happen because the law of averages with me, and I have to get it at some point. Do you know what I mean? After being on it for 2 hours.
So basically, you could call it you did a Lion King on it.
Yeah. Oh God. Oh yeah. Lion King. No idea what to do. Do you know what is good though? And you get this with video games, right? Where you're playing a boss for so long that when you first go on it, you're kind of scared and go, "Oh God, oh my God!" And because you play so long, you start getting so used to it. And I'm running around them like, "Oh, shut up, you!" and blah blah. And it's just like you're so used to the environment, and it's just like, "Oh, I quite like that." When it starts becoming like not as daunting, and you can mess about with it.
It's because it's whenever you see a boss the first time, it's like you're being thrown everything at once. You go, what am I going to do with that? And then you're kind of all annoyed because you don't know what he's going to do. And you think, right, it took me ages to get to this point. What do I do now then? And you expect someone to tell you what to do on it in game or whatever. And then as Mega Man was that for me. Whenever I get to any boss, it's so daunting at the start. I'm like, I don't like this. And then all of a sudden, you pick up on what he's doing. He's jumping over there. He's going to do this. And you go, right, got that, and it's different. But then I guess that's kind of the...
I think Mega Man's a really good example, though. That's a very good example, because almost every boss you go in Mega Man, you do not know what you're doing, and you're not supposed to. You're not supposed to until you play him. Like, I was watching Jack play Hollow Knight the other day, and he was against the boss. And because he'd never played Hollow Knight before, when you go against a boss, it's like that. It's technical. You've got to learn the patterns. You can't just stand there and just whack away. You've got to learn what sound they're making, where they're going to do all the same stuff that they do in Mega Man. So it's quite interesting to see the evolution of someone playing a game like that, where they go in like that, and the next time they go, actually, when they made that sound, he did this, so I should stand here. I was like, this is cool. I love that. There's something that's a really cool thing in video games.
Another game like that I would recommend is, because I forgot, I meant to mention on Game Played Offline after you mentioned about doing not Donkey Kong.
Oh, Zelda Echoes of Wisdom.
Zelda, sorry, Zelda. Yeah, I'm doing Tales of Iron 2.
Oh yeah, is that the one you posted in Discord?
Yeah,
that looked gorgeous, by the way.
It's basically the boss fights are a bit like because you mentioned about technical. They're very technical bosses to go against, but again, you learn their pattern of what certain things they do.
Yeah,
and people say it's like the Dark Souls game, the old thing.
Yeah,
Souls style game. But it's one of those. It is difficult, and when you go against a boss first time, 2 hits, you're dead, and you go,
what the hell?
What? And then you're like, no, I'm never going to do this. And all of a sudden, you do it again. You do it again and you go, wait a minute, he's doing this now. And then it might take me like one boss I was on it for like 2 hours, this one boss. And I wasn't annoyed because every time I was doing that fight, I kept on working out, right, he could do that. And then it'd be silly mistakes by me. Oh, why did I? Because you kind of get a bit cheeky and go for an extra hit when you know you shouldn't do. You're like, no, get back. It's like when you try and get Bowser again and you think, right, I'll try and quickly get in. But then when you rush it, you make mistakes.
Yeah, you make mistakes. You've got to have restraint.
Oh, yeah, that was the other one.
So yeah, do you know what? We're destined to play the Souls games at some point, because look, the way we're talking about these type of games, it's like people are probably shot on the screen. Elden Ring, guys, Elden Ring, all that stuff.
Well, I've got a copy of Dark Souls bought for me on 360.
Oh God, yeah, and you're gonna have to play it.
I've got number 2, and also if it works all right on the CRT, because I don't know how the writing's going to be for a 360 on a CRT. That's kind of the decider, because if I can't read the writing, I'll be like, that. But other than that, But then again, people like Charlie Fart and all that, and he's very, very retro games he plays.
Yeah,
and he one day a week he plays that, and he says, "Oh, you'll love it." And
it leans
I think we will. But we're in denial.
The retro ethos, all the junky games we played in the past. It's those kind of games. Doesn't hold your hand. It's and that's why it divides a lot of people, isn't it? And I'd love to play them at some point to get around to them. I don't know where we should start or whatever. Like I don't understand really, because people Bloodborne, but that's only on PlayStation, isn't it?
That's PlayStation 4.
And what's the first one? Is it Demon Souls or?
Oh yeah, Demon Souls is the original. Then it's Dark Souls, Dark Souls 2.
Demon Souls only on PlayStation.
3. That's actually that was a PS3 game. So that is it's even older sort of thing.
So none of these are on PC. I think you can get like a couple of them on Switch. I'm obsessed with anything on Switch. Even
you get the first one on Switch, and it's a remastered one. It actually works quite well.
Oh, does it?
Because my mate used to have it where I used to work, and he was mad on Dark Souls. He was talking to me in Dark Souls language, because he was sort of saying, "Oh, I've got this item, and this does this," and I went, "Oh, all right, cool." I don't know what you're on about.
I know. But I think it's the thing with Dark Souls people, and you are like people who get into it are really in it. And that's it. And that's all they want. Is like, no, you got to play Dark Souls because you play this. You play
yeah.
And anything Dark Souls-ish, I'll play Elden Ring. And suddenly that's their life. You know what I mean? It's like Destiny. I was the Destiny world. Or like any more Warcraft. Yeah, it's one of those. That's a faction of people now. People who are into Souls games. I've just realised.
It's going to be one of those where, like, we are going to play it, and we go, oh, it's actually pretty good, isn't it? And everyone will go, yes, we told you.
Yeah, I think we have that with a lot with Final Fantasy, which I just don't think I can jump. Like, it's a good example of what you were saying before about, games making you play through stream, see it through. You play Final Fantasy 7. Would you have played that outside the stream as much, do you think?
Well, I've actually tried to play it like 3 or 4 times. I bought it on Switch, where I haven't played that version, because the Switch version, you've got some little extra nice bits where you can actually turn off random encounters.
Oh.
Which is good and bad.
Oh, because you need to grind.
Yeah, you need it to grind, really. But if you get lost in a level, there's nothing more like frustrating than, right, I'm just trying to find this place.
Oh, and then...
And you'll go back, and you go, oh, go away. I just want to get in. And that's when it's worth it. And things like that. Actually. But...
That's like the one thing that's actually made me go, oh, that's really good.
Yeah, and that's the Switch version. That came out a long time ago.
I've got that. I think I bought it for like £3 over Christmas.
Yeah, I didn't know it cheap a long time ago.
I think I actually bought it on PlayStation years ago as well, and I just never played them. I just thought,
well, at the end of the day, because you don't it said I know we play on real hardware and you do a mixture of playing it via a Switch for another component, because you just play whatever way you can play. But games like that might be better for you to play it on the Switch rather than the PlayStation version, because
I keep saying this, I think the Switch for me is fast becoming, like, I don't want to say my favourite ever console because of nostalgia, but it's up there. As because of all the different games.
Well, it does everything, though.
Yeah,
it's the Swiss Army penknife of retro, modern, everything in between.
Yeah, exactly. I know you could probably say that was Steam Deck and all that, but it's so pricey.
Yeah.
It's the most affordable one, and I because of Nintendo, I see them as a toy. But okay, the other game I played, what did I say? It's Mario 64. I've started playing I forget this name. Wario Land.
Oh,
Super Mario Land 3. Is that right?
Super Mario Land 3. Wario's.
I don't think it's. I think it's just Wario Land.
Oh, Wario Land.
Or Wario.
Well, it's Wario Land in big writing, and underneath it's got Super Mario Land 3.
That's it.
So,
before this, I played Super Mario Land 2, and I absolutely adored it. I thought it was incredible.
Yeah.
And I thought, wow, I should try and play all of the other games in this series. Obviously Wario's introduced in Mario Land 2 as like the boss. I thought, well, that's going to be weird. Let's try the one, because all the new Wario games are all WarioWare ones. We talked about that before.
Yeah,
and it's odd that they never returned to it. And I was like, I wonder why. I wonder if they did these games aren't that good. The platform games aren't that good, or maybe they just got getting a bit tired. I gotta say, it's brilliant. It's like the Wario game's brilliant. It's because he's allowed to be a bit more cheekier than Mario. Like some of the level design, some of the bosses and that are kind of a little bit tongue in cheek. Like the last boss I fought was one that throws its like bogeys at you, and you pick it up. And as much as like last time I was like, oh, maybe Mario's took over that like weird quirky space. Yeah, that there's no point in Wario. But I don't think you get something like that in Mario. Do you know what I mean? You can have something weird and quirky, but nothing a bit like grotesque and a bit,
And you know what I mean about being such a different game?
Yeah.
It's like, it's not just a standard platform like it is with Mario. It's got its own things, doesn't it?
I mean, the whole thing about like you can't you can just push into enemies and things like that, which is that whole mechanic is very different, and it took me a while to get used to, because I was staying out the way of everything. You can still get hit by things if they got a projectile or like they're pointy and they go at you or something like that. But I love all the different like the weapon, different hatch and things you can get, like the way you can like the fire breathing hat, which is really good, or the one little, I can't remember what it's called, like the jet one that makes you fly. God, that's brilliant. Oh yeah, all that stuff is great. It weirdly reminds me, I've seen this a few times. Do you know the World Cup game on the Game Boy? Do you know it's one of the few sports games. When they run, there's always it reminds me of Wario. It's just got that kind of same sound, and when he hits something, it sounds like that as well. I don't know why, but it just feels like the same bloody principle as that.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm really enjoying it. I feels like I keep saying this on stream. It's probably boring to death for everyone, but I can't believe how big these games are. I got to a point.
Oh no, it's mind blowing. When you've got a world map and you're going back and forth, because I think in your head you expect a game just to be like the first Mario, where you just got starting point and end point, and that's in between, and there's nothing in between. And when you go past that level, that's gone. Move on.
So good.
but you can.
It's like the fact that like you beat a level. It's like I think early on you beat the boss, or you do something with a water reservoir or something, and then you go back into the earlier levels, and all those levels are flooded. Oh my god! So they basically made those levels twice, in a way. It's just
and you think
so well done.
he's remembered that and things. You think, what really?
I wasn't aware that the Game Boy could do all of these things, like the memory things. Like if you hit a block and there's a key in there, and then you can take that key up a ladder into another room or through a door. And it's like in your head, it's like you won't be able to do that in a game like this.
Yeah, you think logically, you think, oh no. Well, as soon as you leave that screen, it's gone forever.
It's gone, and it just remembers it. And if you think of the scope of this game, it's absolutely huge. And Mario Land 2 was like massive as well, but this, Jesus, it's just like I looked it up, and I need like 48 treasures to beat the game. I'm going to look into that again to see if that's completely right, because it feels nuts, because I've only got like...
How many you got? Eight.
Admittedly, I'm only like streaming 4 hours a day, and probably 2 of those are when I'm playing the game. But it feels longer than Mario Land. It really does. Like,
well, you're still playing it, because it's not like it's a 20-minute game.
No. I'm absolutely loving it, and like, I'll probably talk about that next time. I don't know how long it's going to take me to beat. But I definitely want to play through the other series. Like, I want to play the next one, and then I mean, not after each other, and then the Game Boy Color one would be nice to play as well, because that looks gorgeous at some point. Because that's on the Nintendo Switch Online as well, so we can play through that. So
there's only a bit the confusing bit you're going to have with Wario Land 2. There's 2 versions of it.
Yeah,
you've got the Game Boy one, and you've got the Game Boy Color mix one.
Yeah,
because there's 2 cartridges. I know you're playing it through the Switch, but there's 2 cartridges. You've got a grey cart, and then you've got a black cart. The black cart works with enhanced colours, actual proper colours, not like
none of them are on the Switch. Wario Land 3 is on the Switch, which is the Game Boy Color later one. The one that was just released on the
right.
That one. So these sequels, it's so weird, because they got Mario Land 2, and then they got Wario Land 3, and in my mind, have they just...
Wario Land 4, isn't it? The Game Boy Advance
4 one, whatever it is.
That's number 4.
Is it 4?
Yeah, that's number 4, that is.
I'm getting confused as well then.
Yeah, no, it is.
I wish you just released them all. Why don't you just release them all to go?
They should do a thing where it's just like the Wario collection. And
it's just so good. Just do it.
And they own them all, so it's not owned by another company, unless there is some weird...
I'll be honest, though. I would prefer, and that sounds silly to everyone else now, Steve, why would you want to pay more? I would rather them release, the way they got a Team collection, a physical collection of like, here's the Wario games, here's the Mario Land games, Mario Land, what's the ones called? What's the Mario collection called with all like the
Mario All-Stars?
So Mario Land All-Stars or Wario Land All-Stars.
Yeah.
Just give us those collections, so we can have a physical collection. Because
Wario's Castle Collection.
Because we don't own these games. We're playing on the Switch Online, etc. It's just like, as soon as you stop paying, they're gone. And that seems a bit ridiculous.
Yeah.
Why don't we have these collections? Surely they could make... I don't know. You want to drive subscriptions.
It could be an internet printing money, because we will buy it.
We will buy it, but they want to sell subscriptions, don't they, to the online service more than anything.
Yeah.
And it's just sad. I'd rather have a collection I can just go to all the time, and then because what games that fall through the cracks, and they own them. It's not like they're not Nintendo.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, unless there's anything weird where it's developed through someone else or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The Zelda games. Well, the Zelda games went on there. The Capcom ones, didn't they?
Yeah. Both the Game Boy Color ones are both Capcom.
Yeah, and they're both they're on there.
And the Game Boy Advance one's Capcom as well, which is bizarre when you think about it. How come? I'm surprised Capcom hasn't made another Zelda. Do you know what I mean?
No, because it's cool of them to let them do that, though. I suppose they're new games, though. I suppose I don't know if they were actually all Nintendo in house. I don't know the backstory of the new ones.
I don't know. There's all sort of history there, but I don't mean the collection stuff. Well, it's a bit like the one collection I absolutely love, and I forgot how many games were on it, because I was showing when I was visiting Danny's parents and saw Danny's sister's other half, and he loves his games and that. And he had his Switch. And I forgot in my bag, I've got the Turtles Cowabunga collection.
Oh, nice. Oh, that collection's bought. I completely forgot it exists, though, until someone mentioned it.
So did I. And I own it. And I was like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And it has so much stuff on that. That's
so
such a good collection.
I did play one of them last... Well, actually, a couple of the Game Boy ones. I think the 3 Game Boy ones.
There's 3 Game Boy ones.
Yeah, because the last one's like a Metroidvania. I didn't get around to playing that one. That's what I want to play at some point. Yeah, but you just reminded me, I need to go back to play that as well.
And you go for oh, that's on there, that's on there, that's on there.
I'm an absolute sucker for a collection. I mean, I still want to get that Nintendo Forever one. Sorry, the Tetris Forever, but I don't think there's a physical version of that either.
Is it out now? Because
that came out last year. I don't even remember it coming out, but it came out.
No, I remember you just talking about it on the podcast.
Yeah,
and then
I was calling it. What was I calling it? Tetris Effect, which was that other game.
That's
the whole podcast. I was calling it. Oh, Tetris Effect has come out. Which is
did you? I didn't pick up on it either.
I really knew that one. I was coming back to have a listen. So, oh no, which is an amazing game itself. Yeah. But that came out, but it didn't have a physical edition, which I'm a bit gutted about because that would have been nice for the physical edition as well. You know? But the Atari one got a physical edition. The new version of the 50 that came out about the same time last year as well.
Yes, yeah.
So the thing is, I've got the first version of it, so I was like, I kind of want to get the trader in and get them the new version.
But then can't you download additional stuff because you've got the other copy?
I can't remember if it was free. I assume it might be free.
Because, I don't know that collection, I'm not sure, but normally they do.
It's good though, it's an amazing collection. If you ever see it cheap, I mean, you might see the first version of it cheap. Because it's like
I've seen the first version of it cheap around, but I forgot about it.
It's worth picking up just for the movie stuff on the interviews and all that. It's really cool.
That's the thing. That's the other thing with the collection, like you said before, with the collections, it's not just the free game. Say like the Wario games. Imagine if it was the Wario games on there with different versions of it, with little makings,
a little documentary,
sketches, a little documentary.
Good, wouldn't it? Just talking to people about like I mean, I'm not massively into like just talking heads things. I want a story of how these things were developed. That's more interesting. Yeah, but I don't mind it. Like of the kind of guest people jumping in as well, just to make the package a bit bigger as well. But I don't know. Will they do with it? I think they're very focused on new stuff, aren't they, with the Switch 2? Or remakes of Zelda games and all that. But anyway, that was what I was playing. Should we move on to the news?
Yes. Oh, yes. There's plenty of it.
We've got loads of it, right? So we'll start off something which is kind of not news, but I thought it was very interesting because if you're like me, and I think you are similar like that, did you grow up watching a lot of Angry Video Game Nerd?
Yeah, watch all of his stuff. Yeah, all of it.
I mean, and I for me, this was YouTube when I was growing up. I didn't really watch any YouTube until like someone said, "Oh, you should watch this." He just reviews Nintendo games. I was like, "Oh, that's cool." And then I got obsessed with all that stuff, and I would have loved to do myself, but I didn't have a camera and all that. You just get inspired, don't you?
But with YouTube back then, you didn't really have lots of people recommended to you. You kind of, I used to only see stuff that I wanted to go back to watch that person or a couple of different people. You wouldn't really come across, oh, look, that person. Oh, who's that? What are they doing? And it was just, you would just watch, like watching your favourite TV programme on it.
Should try and find a picture of him actually when he's talking. But anyway, the Angry Video Games obviously got an 8-bit game coming out. I think we might have covered it. I can't remember if we talked about it. We might have come up.
Oh, I don't know actually.
He's got a NES game in the works. But this one's been in the works for like years. I mean, there's been another couple of games where they weren't like this. This one's actually going to work on your NES. But
the reason why this took longer, I think, is because they're working with a company called, was it Mad Cat Studios?
No,
something like that.
It's the ones who did Prison City, isn't it? Those guys.
Yeah.
I want to say it's with him. Justin's part of it. Justin.
Yeah, because I think what it is, the other game they brought out, because there is actually Adventures 1 and 2.
Retroware.
Retroware's the publishing, but they're not the creators. It's someone else.
Oh, okay. Mega Cat Studio. Then?
That's it. Mega Cat Studios. They're the ones who make it. But the Retroware, the people that publish it, I think that's right. But yeah, because they didn't do the other, because he's had 2 games. There's been the AV Adventures 1 and 2, which I didn't play the second one.
No, I haven't played. I think, but were they 8-bit or were they kind of like?
They were like
NES, weird.
Sounds weird. Fake 8-bit, like they were made to be like it, but they weren't. Really,
this is the first one kind of ground up. That's what's going to work, and they're going to bring a NES cartridges out.
I really want
cartridges. I know we're talking about NES cartridges later on. But for this news story, it's kind of news. But if you were kind of a fan of AVGN from the back of the day, you would have been used to this background because it's the background of like We Sit and does all like his videos and things of the Angry Video Game Nerd stuff, and they recreated this background. And to use events where they kind of be showing off the video games they're kind of promoting, and I thought it was so interesting the way they did it because it was such. I
watched the whole video as well. Yeah,
it was such a good job. Like a lot of it's like phone bought. They took a photo of it and measured it up, and like you see it from afar. Like, it might look fake there. That's Prison City, by the way, the other game they did.
Oh yes.
But like they show you the ins and outs how they created this thing, and it was just so interesting and like so
Yeah.
creative. But like,
Because they could have done just like a picture, but they didn't just create a picture. They got all the photos of it. They kind of 3D'd it up a little bit. So if you were sitting in front of it, it's better than having a green screen type of thing because you kind of got the more.
It's really well done. Yeah, yeah. 3D. The way they did the 3D, like it's using pens and stuff to kind of make it stand out a bit more. With, like, I mean, also it just from afar, it just looks real. And they have these like units which you bought like at Walmart by the looks of it, just to push things forward. But it was just so well done. And at the end, I thought, oh my god, what are they going to do now? But they did pack it up to be able to use at other conferences
because they go to a lot of like the other expos in America and that, don't they?
Yeah, it's all around. It's a shame, isn't it? Because don't we get to see all that stuff over here?
I know. Well, that's the thing, right? There's so many American YouTubers I watch, retro YouTubers, that you go to one convention and you'll probably get to meet all of them because they all kind of hang around with each other and they're all amongst the same sort of sets. So you get to meet all these people.
I thought this was cool. So like, there's people playing it, and he actually turns up, and like they don't know he's going to be there, and that's pretty cool because obviously these people are big fans of him, and they're playing his game, and he's just like, I'll just show this a little bit. No sound, but look at this.
Yeah, he's like, and I love that double take. Like, oh, 1 minute.
You'd have to go, but it's cool. It's cool. I mean, I've been watching for years, so it's cool to see him kind of get involved in all this. You know. Years later and stuff, he's still doing it. I'll be honest, I don't watch as much as the new stuff. I really prefer the earlier stuff with the NES games and stuff. But I dip in out. But later on, I think we've got a question I'd love us to answer.
I know which one.
Yeah, about YouTube channels and stuff. So we'll kind of go over that, what our favourite YouTube channels we want to talk about. But I thought that was a bit of news. But you know what? It's like I'll be honest, he's been a big inspiration, like for me when I was kind of growing up and kind of getting into video games and how we kind of want to talk about them. And I don't know, it's one of those people that would we even be on Twitch if we wouldn't have seen people like that? And you go from that person to someone else, and you get inspiration all along the line.
Well, for me, it was a massive education because, I said, for you grew up with the NES. I didn't have the NES, so watching him play games, I'm like, I didn't know that was a game, and I learned about them games through him.
Yes.
So that was kind of education for me.
And as much as and I always just thought a lot of the games that he played were absolute rubbish as well. And then you go and play them yourself, and you actually realise, some of them are actually really good.
Yeah, that's the only thing. Like, some bits I did disagree with the games, but then again, it's not there as it's not a review, not that sort of review. Like, you'll love it, you hate it. It's parodies. It's make it entertainment rather than
that's you're right. Yeah, you're right. It is entertainment. That's the way to do it, and that's what you got to remember. And also, just because a YouTuber is saying this is their opinion doesn't mean it's your opinion.
I know. Yeah, exactly. Like, if you like it, you like it.
Yeah,
it's like anything in life.
I mean, the biggest one for me, I Karate Kid, I thought it was quite fun. But Nightmare on Elm Street, I thought was an absolutely brilliant game. I just still love it, and I want to do a stream at some point where I can get 3 other people to play it with me. I might have a 4-player Nightmare on Elm Street.
I keep forgetting. Do you know? I keep forgetting you can do that. I keep forgetting.
If you watch it, you can see all the things on top of the screen. If I can get 4 people, it's just.
I've never played it. I've only ever seen
an epic Halloween stream. I think it'll be amazing to do with people. It's a good idea. We can get it going. I think it'll be incredible. Right, the next bit of news. Yes. They showcased a little bit of the Shinobi game, and it looks amazing.
I
will say, right, this year is incredible for video games already. You know what I mean? Like, you got to start the year and you're like, oh God, what's going to come out? And then we've got a Ninja Gaiden game coming out, and we've got a Shinobi game coming out in the same year. What the hell is going on?
No.
And when I was first looking at it, I was confused. Like, wait a minute, showing off Ninja Gaiden again. I was like, no, wait a minute, this is Shinobi. And they both look fantastic.
And they both look different enough to be different games.
Yeah, I think they're coming around. I don't know if they're coming around at the same time. I think they will. I think it's got a date.
Well, this is done by the people who did Streets of Rage 4. So if it looks similar sort of style as that, and I love that company.
Yeah, that's so good.
They did such a good job with that.
What else did they do apart from Streets of Rage 4?
They also did. Oh no, I didn't know this. I don't know if they did the new. I don't think they. Did they do the Toxic Crusaders game as well?
That new one.
Someone else.
That's the one that's actually being published by that Retroware we were just talking about before.
So
we don't know who's actually making that game.
I don't know then. Because it's .emu or whatever they're called, isn't they, or
But
something?
.mu did Turtles as well, the Turtles game. But did
Oh, they did Turtles one. Yeah, that was the same company, Streets of Rage and the Turtles people. I think.
Okay, that makes sense then.
Yeah.
Both of those games are incredible. The Turtles one
Yeah.
is one of the best modern games I've played in years. The one that got me super excited. But Streets of Rage 4 as well, absolutely up there as well, isn't it? A brilliant game. And this looks like it's going to be very similar, like in a way, like they're doing something a little bit different. So it's not like a multiplayer game.
No.
But it just looks great, doesn't it?
The thing that's interesting about this, even though it's got the new name of Art of Vengeance, there's a couple of levels that are rather, I don't know if they're just a homage or they're part of a remix, because you've got the bit where he's on the surfboard. That's actually from Shinobi 3.
Yeah.
The bit where there's bits, when he's jumping on top of rocks and they're falling and he's getting higher, that's from Shinobi 3 as well. But the other bits I don't recognise. So I think it's going to be the favourites and the unique levels from the previous games put into one, like
touching on it. Yeah.
I
think Ninja Gaiden's doing that a little bit. I'm pretty sure the new intro of Ninja Gaiden is like an animated version of the original and Ninja Gaiden one on the NES.
Yes, I think so. Yeah, because there's the eyes and all that lot cross, and
it's just I don't mind it when you use nostalgia on that purpose. They're kind of taking a game and enhancing it and making something new about it. I mean, we'll get on to that later on when we talk about Samurai Pizza Cats.
Because
we need to kind of mention that as well. Because they're doing. I mean, that's coming out this year as well. What's going on?
Isn't it?
Hopefully that's good. But we'll see. We'll have a look through it. But the art direction looks beautiful, isn't it? It looks so good.
And there's nice combos in it. It looks quite fast paced. It's not sluggish. That's the level. That is so hard on the third one. If you play that bit, it's well worth it, because you see like the it's only quick.
That bit isn't that also one of the Shinobis as well, where he's running through.
The horse. That's from Shinobi 3 as well.
Yeah, there you go. So is it taking a lot from 3 then, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm looking at it. And also it's called Art of Vengeance, and the third one's called
There we go.
Vengeance. No, I've got the name of it. It's got a similar name in number 3.
Again, wouldn't it be great? I mean, I don't know if all these on the Nintendo Online. I know not the first Shinobi, not the Master System one. The Revenge of Shinobi's on there. I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
Maybe the other ones are on there. I
know that let's go back a bit really, but on the 3DS, I've got the 3D version of Shinobi 3.
Oh, nice!
It's actually the original game, but made in 3D. That was on there. I don't know. It's digital releases for the other Shinobi games, but again, I'm going to come back to that thing you said earlier, a Shinobi collection.
This would be an amazing collection. Wouldn't it?
That again.
God. Just I mean, they brought out like Jurassic Park had a collection recently, didn't they? The Jurassic Park.
Yeah, that was a bit not being funny. That was a bit.
It's a bit like, where did you pluck them from? I'd get it though. I'd want it just to have them, because I like the SNES one and the Mega Drive one's all right, and I think there's a Game Boy one in it. But it is plucking out of nowhere. And then, but you see these games, you go, oh my god, these Shinobi games, and you just get worried they're going to be lost in time,
Yeah.
At some point, if they ever shut down the service, then you've got to go and
well, that's always a worry, because these sort of games are going to be unique to play. There's games I've played in the past, indie games that I absolutely loved, because I've not noted them down, I didn't stream them. Yeah. I've actually forgot about them.
Yeah.
But there's games that I've got like a really good time with, but if you said, what's your top indie games? I've played loads in the past, way before streaming or whatever, when they were available on Steam, for a couple of quid, really good games. But then I've forgotten about them, and they might have just disappeared forever anyway.
Yeah, that's it. It's sad, isn't it? But it's nice to kind of to peruse your bloody, your games on your shelf or something. And go, I've got them all. But this is available on August 29th this year. So that's not too bad. That's not too bad, is it? It's a pre-order now. I'm hoping we get a physical edition, but it's the same again. If I don't go for the digital version, you're waiting a few months for the physical version, unless it comes out day one. You never know.
The other way you can sometimes get them a little bit cheaper, I don't know why they do it like this, but it's for the Switch anyway. You can buy the Chinese version of the game, and it's legit, and it's the official product, but I think it's Play Asia. No, physical.
Oh.
Yeah, if you ever go to Play Asia at times, there'll be a game that might have only got a digital over here, and then they actually get a physical in the Chinese regions. But the game would be all in English, because literally it picks up the language on the console, and you get a physical copy. I did that with Akami. Mine's a Japanese copy, but we never got it physically in England. or Western territory, but I've got the Japanese version of Akami physically. I put it in and it just plays in English. So you can some game. I don't know if it'd be like that with Switch 2, but that's something else again. But but with Switch 1, you could buy a physical game from another country, and it will play in English because it just automatically picks up on it because it's universal.
So it's worth doing that way. But I suppose the issue is that, like, the issue I'm going over though is that, you know, say Shinobi comes out. It's like, oh, it's digital, and then people go, oh, what about physical? And goes, oh, if we get enough interest, we might think about physical.
Oh, edition. Yeah, I hate that one. Yeah, if it sells well enough, it's like, well, no, the point is, I want to buy it. But I don't want to.
I want day one.
But yeah,
because they want us to get it twice, and like, if we get so excited about a game coming out, it's like, well, you might double dip if you're that excited, and if you count on that, then and then they announce that limited run, and someone's going to do it again. I'm not going against limited run, but it's just annoying that because we don't have that over here in the UK, so it takes ages, and I get why it takes ages because, you know, they've got to make sure everyone gets a copy, you know, who wants one, because they could do like, oh, we're only going to have so many copies, and then they can do like a short run or whatever. But like, I get it, but it's not ideal. I'd rather have it like we used to have it, where they just sell the games. But I know, I get it. It's like,
I know you just want to just go in the shop and buy it.
Exactly.
That's it. Really, that's what you want.
Amazing. Wouldn't that be amazing? But I suppose it's 2025. That doesn't happen now, doesn't it?
But at least how quickly that happened. At least I have to say though, at least there are people that are still wanting to bring out physical copies of the games.
Yeah, that's it.
Like, it's a pain to get, but there is a way to get them.
Yeah.
Outside of, well, it's digital tough. You're never going to see it anywhere else ever again.
Like that game we picked up the other day. It's a 3-point campus or 2-point campus, whatever it's called. You know,
I don't know. You made me buy it. I can't remember now.
It was such an impulse buy, but it was like £6.
Yeah.
On Amazon, and it was like you get a whole. It wasn't just a game. No, you get like the game, an actual cart. That's what I took a punt on that. I didn't think I was going to get the cart. You know, I thought it was going to be a cart.
For that price, you're like, whatever. So
there's no code in it. And there's a cart in there, and you get a map, and you get like this big manual. And everything.
And DLC, I think, as well.
And
but
DLC.
Paper, but still,
there'll be a paper. But I was like, oh, come on, for that price.
And it's sealed because I was expecting it to. I don't know why. I wasn't expecting it to be sealed, and it's literally brand new.
Have you opened it? Have you left it sealed?
No, I haven't done it yet. I'm not from a collector point of view. I just got look. My rule thing now of a lot of games I get, especially Switch games, is if I buy the game because it's cheap or whatever, I don't break the seal until I'm ready to play it.
I mean, that's clever, actually.
Just so I know, right, they're one still to play.
I can't wait to open it and have a look what's in it. I mean, for the most part, like...
Well, but most times,
when you open this, you go, oh, I can't wait to open what's in it. Oh,
at least you got a little bit of paper.
You get a little paper saying use get code. You can use that code, by the way. It's not exclusive. Croft20 to get 20% off stuff.
Are you going to do an unboxing on YouTube like your other one?
I did. No, it's just like... Why everyone the wave? Someone's commented saying it was more waving than opening. It was true.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think like to jump into a little bit of news because actually someone revealed that the Switch boxes for the Switch 2 are going to be a bit bigger. That's the rumor anyway. It's a rumor someone's unearthed.
No, OCD is going to go through the roof.
I hope that's untrue because it's ridiculous because I want them to be all uniform together, you know. I would rather have them the same size, just a different colour.
Different colour,
or just where it's got like a Switch icon, put a 2 underneath it, or something like that. Wouldn't that be nice?
It's a bit like, well, to be fair, that's like the PS4 and PS5.
Yeah.
They are exactly the same. The only difference is, the only thing that's annoying with that is when I've been in cash converters or somewhere else and gone and seen a game that I wanted to get that's on both PS5. Oh, that's it, Double Dragon, I think it was. And it was on PS4 and PS5. And it was only a tenner, and I went, "Oh, brilliant!" Picked it up, and it said PS5 on it. I didn't see the banner at the top, and I don't have one, so I couldn't play it.
That's
I was like,
shame. Yeah.
So that's the only problem. But then the other issue with the colour thing, the only issue you'll come across with that, I've got one here. But there are a couple of games that have different colour cases.
Not mine, no.
The cardboard creation game.
Oh, I know what you mean.
Labo?
Labo, that's the one, yeah.
Labo has a black case.
Don't worry, that won't work on Switch 2 anyway, so we can get that out of the way. No.
Apparently. But that's what I would like to say. I would like it. Or at least if they did it a thicker case, but kept the same height at least. So at least on the shelf it can actually organise.
The point is, there's nothing in the damn things apart from the cart.
Yeah. There isn't. Yeah, there's more plastic in that case than there is on the cartridge and anything else.
Do you reckon the cart's going to be bigger? Or it's the same
Well,
because it's
that's
an
the thing,
SD.
because it's saying that the Switch games will work.
I can't imagine having separate ports.
I
We've looked
don't
at it,
think
didn't
they.
we?
I don't think it will, because at the end of the day, I can't remember if I spoke to you about it before, but when we look at cartridges, I know that they could add extra RAM on back in the day, and they changed the shape because how they worked. But with a Switch game, they're almost like a fancy SD card.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, they are literally the
And they
SD card,
can,
aren't they?
yeah, and they basically got a tiny chip where you can put as big. They can put a 2 terabyte in one of those if they wanted
Yeah.
to, but
get that
it's a
way.
cost. That's the
Yeah.
problem. So maybe they might be, but they've got to make them different enough. So I want to. Yeah, there must be a way how they're going to put
You
it
know what?
in.
You're
But
right,
not,
though. I didn't even think about
Yeah.
that. Switch 2 games are going to be quite expensive, aren't they? They're going to be like 60 quid straight off the bat. Compared to Switch games, they're going to be a good 10, 20 pound more. Although first party Switch games are probably around that time.
well, to be honest, around about
Anyway.
50
Yeah.
pounds,
They're
55
more
half the
expensive
time anyway.
digitally, weirdly enough.
Yeah.
Oddly.
I've found it a few times.
Anyway, let's go to the next bit of
Yeah,
news.
right,
That's fine. I wanted to just jump on this because we just mentioned it. The Samurai
Yes,
Pizza Cat.
yeah, good.
The
Yeah.
trailer's weird because 90% of it is like not the
You know
game.
why? The biggest thing is because they really want to push that we've got the original dubbed voice actors.
Yeah, that is
to
really
be-
cool.
So there's going to be cutscenes that are going to be completely exclusive to that. It's not going to
Yeah.
be just show cutscenes from the old series.
Yeah.
Which is nothing wrong with that. But I mean, it's
gonna
going
be
to have
new.
its own story for it.
Yeah, because I was thinking they were doing it because they wanted to kind of reintroduce the Samurai Pizza Cat.
Oh,
They might not be
actually,
known as
to be
well.
yeah, because the
That could
thing
be
is,
as well.
we go in it, we know them, we know they are, but then someone else go, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Who are they?
So
You
what
know.
I thought with this trailer, before I even pressed play, I thought, oh, what are they going to do? Remake the Famicom game? Because that
Yeah,
would
I thought
be-
it was as well at first.
like it feels like these. I mean, the game looks good, and we'll get on to what it looks like in a minute. And
Yeah.
you know, tell me the Samurai Pizza Cat. But wouldn't it have been a good idea to do that? Because like no one in the West like played it. It was just on Famicom.
It was. It never even got any other translation. Well, only
It's
fan
just-
translation,
yeah,
no
fan ones.
official thing in any way.
And it's a brilliant game. It's like really good.
Yeah.
And it just feels like a bit of a like another way. I mean, it'd be great if this came out and they had the other version on it, but or something like that.
As like
to play,
a bonus or
but again,
like when you completed
I
it or-
doubt it because they'd have to translate it, and that's work. They
And
could have just-
also, it's probably a different company who made the first game, and then there's
yeah,
like
that's a good point.
licensing.
And it's just got the licenses and
I
like,
don't remember who makes it. After
well, this is the game,
I'll grab my copy.
and I'll just show off the game a little
Yeah.
bit. It reminds me a little bit of like I was saying this. I don't know if it's true now because I was thinking about this thing. It reminds me of like the Rugrats game, how clear it looks, almost
Yeah. Yeah.
cartoony. Like,
But the problem was, I love that. Do you know what the biggest thing I like
Weird,
about
it's
that
on top
is
down.
when you see him blast into the background.
yeah, let's do that again then. I've missed that.
Yeah, it's like little things like that. I love
Sorry
that.
if you're listening on Spotify, by the way. We're showing
yeah,
the YouTube video off. I always forget to kind of tell people that we're doing things which are non-audio based. Oh, I see. Okay. And it's got this top-down area, which I didn't expect, to be honest.
Yeah, because it kind of goes into like a Final Fantasy bit, like you get into a battle.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit.
Or
Do
is
you know what it
RPG?
reminds me of? Like Cuphead, where you got the
Oh,
open world
yeah.
bit, and then you go into another
These
area.
cutscenes are great, aren't they? And this bit as well.
That is gorgeous. I love that look.
This is like, it looks like collectible card areas,
Yes,
doesn't it?
yeah,
It is, isn't it?
yeah.
Missile barrage. So these like powers you can...
These are
build.
where you upgrade your stuff, I
Upgrade and
think,
stuff, that's
and, like,
cool.
and summons. It's a bit like it's kind of like RPG elements
Yeah.
to it.
Because that makes sense with kind of walking around talking. So there's a lot more to it, I guess. I think what I was thinking of when I was just saw this platform, I thought it looked
Yeah.
a bit simple. You know, this whole like collecting
Yeah.
these coins or the currency or whatever that is. I think, it's just a running and gun shooter. But that
Yeah.
kind of, it doesn't rhyme with Cuphead in that way, to be honest.
Because you've got
And
that
then
bit of the open world talking to people. Then
there's like coins as well.
Yeah.
I guess they're currency. Like, but it is open world, but it looks like you can grab some money. And I guess that's where you go to shops and things and go on
Yeah.
these adventures.
a bit like Scott Pilgrim as well, where
Yeah.
you build up the money to spend on it.
And
The
this
other
looks
thing
like...
is,
Go on.
yeah, I think the problem makes it so like annoying as well because you've got like a minute and 20 of just the intro, and then you got a bit of game right at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know when it's going to release. I don't know if they got a date on this one.
I can't
Blast
remember.
from the past.
I don't think.
Yeah,
Oh,
Wishlist now.
Wishlist on. Yeah.
Anything? Does it say releases?
A lot of the time, Wishlist stuff kind of just says
Steam or
TGA
you can wishlist
and
stuff
stuff.
on PlayStation, right? Because I've been out of the PlayStation game for years and didn't realize you can actually wishlist on the consoles as well now, not just Steam, isn't it? But I suppose you could do
I've
that on
done
the
it
Switch,
on the Switch. I've got into new releases coming soon. I added to that wish list.
Ah. And what happens when you do it on like I can't remember what you do on Switch. Does it send you a notification or anything afterwards?
No, I
For
think
most of
it just when you go back into the shop again and you go and you go, oh, what's meant to be coming out or whatever, and you go into your wish list and you see all the games in there and you go, oh look, that's available now. That's the way I've done. They've never really tell you.
I like things on. God, my don't know, page is done weird. I like things on the Switch so I can go back and when there's like a sale on, I can go back and see if any of those items are on sale. That's why I use
That's
the
what. Yeah,
wish
to be
list.
honest, that's my wish is like wait for the sale list.
Yeah, exactly. This other news, if it formats properly on this, I'm not sure it will. Let's have a look. It looks weird. No, it's not formatting. Why? This is basically. I might be all right to do that. Actually, let's move this around a bit. Oh, they need to sort the website out because it's not me. This
it's not optimized for like
no
adjusting
mobile.
the browsers.
But it's basically about the Switch 2 debug unit or dev units are basically being sold on the Chinese black market. And it's a bit of proof. I don't know if it's proof. It's kind of proof.
A WhatsApp message.
Exactly. Yeah, WhatsApp message. But what was the price?
I better reply back to that bloke actually. Not right now. Yeah,
so all you need to know is 40 grand. Would you buy a Switch 2 dev unit for 40 grand like a couple of months before it's being announced to be everywhere?
But you say that there was a game that got leaked early, and someone paid an extortionate about, I can't remember which one it was now. They paid an extortionate amount of money to get it about 3 days early.
Whoa, what?
I can't remember what it was, but it was something that got leaked, and then someone bought a copy that got come out the factory, and they paid a crazy amount of money, and literally they only got it 3 days before release.
Isn't this like what? Like I'm just cherry picking companies now, but like EA would do for like early access or something to a game. They go, all right, you can play this game. We're releasing this game on like August the 1st, but if you want to play it in like your July, you get the ultimate access, and you pay an extra 100 quid. I've seen that before, and I hate those practices. But this is a bit different.
Though, you can't. It's a bizarre thing because, like, right, you spent the money, you've got it. Who do you tell? Because
no one.
You can't put a video on it. You can't go, I know, I'll go viral. You might do for about 10 minutes until they shut you down.
Yeah.
Your account will get cancelled. This
article goes into the idea that companies might want to buy it who are going to make accessories for the Switch so they can get
actually, they're case people.
And test accessories on them.
That's a good
put the accessories out to market before anyone else.
I didn't think about that.
It makes sense, but it's also a bit dubious as well because they're like, "Oh, how come your accessories working on our device?" Like before we've even like put it out properly.
And Nintendo are not shy to sue companies for like
they will do that.
Painting stuff.
I don't know how many bloody YouTubers I've seen with an actual printed out Switch 2 unit before it was actually like announced in that preview. People had a printed out version because the specs had leaked. So everyone was printing out one.
Oh, did that? I've not seen them.
I've seen loads of people with them. It just felt really weird. I did see
a guy on YouTube a long time ago, before the Switch was out, and he got someone to do a mock of it, and he went quite viral because even Nintendo was having a go at him, but he obviously told him background, no, it's just a mock-up, print-up. But it looked real, and even I believed it. I was like, how did he get that early? And he wouldn't say how he got it early.
Yeah.
But he didn't. It was someone basically did a very good print job of the first Switch. So that's happened in the past.
I mean, it's getting better and better and better now, isn't it? To have these like fake versions of it.
Oh,
but
also,
I don't know. Go on.
If you buy that, right? So you're saying if I'd buy it, if you buy it, what are you going to do with it? Other than say you didn't make cases, we can't play games on it, can you?
No, you can't do anything on it.
What do you do with it? It's just like maybe you just keep it preserved until that point when Nintendo stops caring about it, so you can then like keep hold of it and then sell it later on eBay and go, an early prototype, because they did that with that's how a lot of the PS3 test dev kits have been out there, because they were basically chucked away.
They were massive PCs. I used to work on them when I was in Sony all the time, and I was like, I couldn't imagine they were huge. They were like bigger than a PC. So they didn't look that fancy or anything. They didn't look like a PlayStation. It was just like a computer, basically, without the. It was like, I kind of get what enthusiasts, I guess, or even maybe us would be interested in stuff like that. Just go, oh, look what I've got. But the other side of me thinks it is just like a PS3 at that point. You know what I mean? If it was like, I mean, I say that, and then would I want like the Nintendo kind of Panasonic thing? It's like all that, sorry, the Nintendo and Sonic thing, Sony thing. I'd probably want that instead. If that was available, I'd take that for a bit of history. But yeah, I don't know.
Well, it's like, have you ever seen the Nintendo Dolphin? Like the GameCube prototype.
Yeah.
When we went to Mortal's birthday, we went to the museum, the man cave thing. He brought out, because he's got a dolphin, the dolphin prototype model thing, and it's literally like a square box almost with dolphin on the front with the ports and that. But honestly, when you see Santa up close, I know it looks boring looking, but it's a piece of history. I'm like, oh, can we touch it?
You get a feel. It's got an
crazy,
aura, weird presence.
It's a world that you shouldn't get to see.
Yeah, I suppose it would be because I was close to the PS3 thing, so I was like, it's just a big unit that annoyed me.
You're working with it every day, and you're right.
When it broke down, I was like, oh, one of those things. But with this thing, and then when the PlayStation 3s came in, I was like, yes, we get to use a normal unit, just put on my desk and mess around with. But but if it was a Nintendo thing or whatever, I'd be like all over.
I think you would, yeah.
Something from like not as good news. It's a little bit like we talk both sides of this really.
We can do a positive spin on this one.
Nintendo is discontinuing gold point. And you know what? As soon as they knew that this was going to get out, I thought they were going to use. Everyone looks for a sad picture of Mario.
Yeah.
That's when someone dies. They do the same thing. It's like Robin Williams died. They have a sad picture of the genie. Going to do it
in black and white.
Okay, so for people who don't know, you've got two types of currency when you join like Nintendo's online service. One is the platinum points, which you can use to trade in for like freebies, with calendars and all that stuff that we get, don't we? All that stuff, even though it's not free really, because you have to pay.
You pay like a couple of quid postage.
But if you get loads of stuff, it still only goes onto that one postage, which is good. It's brilliant. I think it's great. But the other bit of currency is the gold points, and every time you buy a physical game or like a digital game, you will get some points, some gold points back that you can use against other digital games. So it's kind of a nice little kickback that when you go into buy a digital game, you go, oh, I've got some gold points, I can trade them in. Yeah. Nintendo were going to stop that from now on.
And the thing that made it ridiculous is that they had expiry on gold points in the past, where I kept a load, then I went back and they expired. And I was like, well, why?
So
it's literally digital. Why is it,
Yeah. But I think I can't remember. We've got something written in down there, but I think it's in March that you've got to get your points in before March. But you're still able to use them after the fact. You just can't redeem them afterwards, which is it's kind of annoying, I guess. But it makes total sense to me in the way of like. I mean, it would have made more sense to me, even though I don't want this, if you stopped the whole thing from March, even the platinum points. Because then it'd be like,
I got a bit confused. I thought it also included that at one point. I was like, that's everything then. So what are they going to do with? Because they already changed how you used to claim like Nintendo points in the past to what they are now.
Yeah,
and they changed that all up with more physical stuff that was available back in like statues and all sorts, wasn't there?
The actual Club Nintendo stuff was amazing.
Oh, it's a Club Nintendo. That's it.
That was so good. Yeah, you get a lot of stuff there. I mean, people complain saying that the new stuff is not as good. Whatever. I'm just glad we got stuff. I use all the calendars, I use all the stuff. But this, I can't bothered because every time I bought a digital game, it was always a little bit of a kick to go, oh, okay, I will get it because I've got a few coins against it. You know what I mean? It always felt like you got a bit of a discount, and God knows we all need a discount on Nintendo stuff because it's more expensive.
And also, I think it was a good way because you had to spend it on the store. It would probably push more people to want to buy the digital version because you've got discounted.
Yeah, you can't use it on physical stuff. You've got to buy digital stuff. It's
just going to hurt in their digital market in a way because you think, well, say like Samurai Pizza Cats is like 15 quid on there, or it's like 30 quid physically, but then you've got gold coins and you can knock it down to about 6 or 7 quid. You'd be like instantly buy the digital version.
I'd be more thinking about it. Do you think they're going to do so? It has got to be because the Switch 2 is about to be announced.
It's Nintendo Switch 2. It's something. It's got to be.
It's like lining up. They're doing a bit of housekeeping before the Switch 2 is announced. So do you think they're going to announce anything in its place? Because they've left the platinum points there, it makes me think, I don't know. Like, if they would have got rid of both of them, then I would think, okay, they're going to start some new club thing.
I think I personally think the silver coins, the platinum ones, they're going to be phased out as well. just not yet.
Oh, do you reckon?
I reckon, and they're going to bring out, and then they're going to do is they're going to get rid of all that, start something new up. There's going to be a Switch 2 exclusive to make people go, oh, if I want these incentives, I need to Switch 2. Yeah, I'm only guessing this, but that's how I kind of feel it's going to be, because they become redundant, because it might be a thing where it might be a headache for them, because they've got this system working with the Switch. When the Switch 2 architecture out and the way you buy them games, even though they say we can play the Switch 1 games on it or whatever, it might be a whole new system, and they kind of don't want to cross it, and they want to kind of go, right, let's start fresh here.
Let's start fresh with a new system.
Yeah.
I wonder what they could do then, because I always think they're going to tie it into, like, I don't know, achievements or something like that. And maybe it's not.
I'm about to say that the best thing I would love to do, which they kind of already do with the platinum points, like if you play, you have incentives, like when you, it says if you go into like the four things you can do to gain some points, it'll say something like play a SNES game today.
Yeah.
For a few minutes, and then you get points, and then you get some points. And I think that's kind of like what they should do with like main games, like with the achievements.
Oh God, yeah.
When you earn so many gaming points or whatever in a game, so it gives you more incentive to want to complete the game and work through it. And then you build up them points and maybe spend them on discounts or something.
Isn't it mad that we're constantly thinking they're going to add achievements, and they probably won't?
I know, we want achievements, but ain't going to happen.
I mean, it's weird because I've talked to other people and they don't want achievements in Nintendo. They're happy to keep it out because they're going to keep it like not competitive, and because achievements are elsewhere. But I'll be honest, any other incentive to play more games and get points and have a little score or for yourself. But again, all these things that we want from Nintendo that we think, oh, they're going to have that, they won't. They won't. I just don't think it's like in their best interest to focus on something like that. Again,
maybe it's just extra overhead, because the problem, a lot of these other companies have whole divisions on certain parts. Nintendo's big, but they're not as big as we think they are, really. They're all in one building development bit, while, you've got... Because you haven't got, you got Nintendo in Germany and other countries. They're not developer areas. They are just literally offices for all the office stuff. But, but for game development, it's all that Kyoto building. It's just that.
Yeah.
That's it for them. And if it's in-house, it is done there, nowhere else. They don't have a Montreal office that does game development. You haven't got, the London office that does game development. Like that, and I think that's what it is. It's probably too much overhead, and they just it's too much of a headache.
And also, they're very traditional, and they take a long time.
That's
to catch
it.
Up as
that's
well,
it. They're set in their ways, sort of thing.
A lot of the time, we'll think, oh, they should do this because it's so obvious, and they won't. It's like we talk about the Nintendo World Championship thing again, or Switch Sports, or all these other games that kind of feel like they come out and then they're kind of left to die. Or Mario Maker, the Switch one that came out, and I felt like that didn't get enough support compared to the Wii U one or whatever, which I'm a bit gutted about. And like I could go on about Mario Maker. I want a new one, but I don't think they'll do that. I think that's gone now, isn't it? That's kind of that ship has sailed.
Well, the only thing I can think of, if they did do another Mario Maker, as said, like with the Switch 2, we keep bringing back Switch 2, don't we?
Yeah, I know. We're sponsored by Nintendo, aren't we?
Yeah, but it's like with that way it works like a mouse. Just think of designing. I know I don't do level design in Mario Maker, but you could use it as a mouse. Yeah, the mouse
could help,
things like that.
The mouse could help with different types of games, so it doesn't have to just be Mario. It could be like just a Game Maker, Nintendo Game Maker. It could be like,
there is. There's an unofficial Zelda game maker as well, and it's a Mega Man one. All these are unofficial, but they could do that.
When we talk what the Nintendo reveal thing, I mean, the first thing in our minds was Mario Paint. They've got to bring Mario Paint.
Yeah, it's mad if they don't do that.
It's ridiculous. Like, we really should bring it back. I mean, a lot of people aren't that bothered because it's not like Photoshop. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
But did you know there was supposed to be a Mario Paint 2, and it was actually in development, wasn't it?
Oh no! It actually got released on the 64DD.
Did it actually get a release?
Yeah, it got split into two software. You've got one that was, I think it was called Mario Studio or something, and it's got Mario with a artist hat on. And the big push for that was because the big DD cartridges were like readable and writable on. That's why they wanted to release it on there, because you could trait your art and it'd be stored forever on that cartridge.
Oh my word!
So it did come out in Japan, and there is some translations.
I remember looking at it, and it looks so overwhelming compared to Mario Paint, because Mario Paint was all nice and cutesy, and this looked like software.
Yeah, I think they split it into two. One's music. I can't remember what it's called now. There's a music, and it's definitely like almost like a Mario Paint. It's not called Mario Paint 2, but it is basically that. Yeah, so it's worth the Nintendo 64 DD. No,
interesting. I'll look into that.
Definitely. Yeah, it's worth. That's quite interesting. That.
But you better bring some. I'd love it if they brought a proper spiritual successor to it, and a bit more fun.
Oh no, that's what.
For people to play, because there was a lot of shovelware on the Switch. I'll be honest. Remember, like there was a piano app, which was just like you paid a couple of quid, and I was thinking, oh, this is cool. Yeah. Can you like learn how to play piano? No, it's just a piano. You can press the screen, and it goes ding ding. I was like, oh my god, that's stuff that's been on like phones for years. That's stuff on the Switch.
The problem is they've always done like the Wii's the same. I don't know about the Wii U. There was a couple of painting apps and stuff that was okay, but very simplistic. But very not
simple, yeah.
Yeah, not down that route.
I don't know. You need to fix that. Right, okay. Next bit of news.
Yes.
Okay, again, sorry about the way this looks.
Well, we did get the bad,
Actually, I can zoom in. That's good.
Oh, that's a bit better. Yeah.
Be warned, NES titles from limited run games may damage your console. This is report. I saw this everywhere. Everyone was talking about this.
Did you see John Riggs covered it?
I already got a video, but I haven't watched it yet. What did he do with it?
Basically, what he did was, because the reason why just a quick bit, I know you probably read the article, but just quickly, like the way they said damaging your console, because the way the voltage is handled in the cartridge when it turns on. Yeah. And what he did was, he's done a video, and he's basically hitting the reset button 100 times.
He's trying to fry his NES on the cart.
I haven't actually watched it, but I don't think it does, but I haven't watched it. But he's literally sitting there.
He's trying to kill it. Oh, my word. Yeah. Oh my word! Because famously, he tries to fix carts.
Yeah,
and that's why he's doing the other way. He's trying to break them now.
Because that's why a lot of companies, first party companies would always say this because they obviously want their product. But like when you see these Chinese EverDrives, these fake ones, they always try and warn you of them because. Or fake reproductions, because if the voltage not right, they could damage it. And this sort of ties in with this sort of thing.
That makes sense. Yeah, that's what's
with the way the voltage is handled.
Huh. That's interesting. That Rugrats game was brilliant as well. I really enjoyed that, even though it's a quite short game. It looked great, and I was at the time I was thinking, I'd love to get the NES version of it, but I've only got one NES, and it's on the blink anyway. So it's like
you don't need that on top of it, do you?
But it does also make me think. There's a lot of if you go to Itch, for example, there'll be a lot of small dev companies that were releasing their games on NES carts, for example. I won't name them, but it does start makes you just question how well will these work on your console? Should there be some kind of I don't know, some
regulations?
Regulations that could work.
Yeah, because it's it's a bit of. Like when you bring out a disc for a pressed disc, you can't really go wrong with that. But with a cartridge, because you're not dealing with just reading the data, I'm not very electrical.
Yeah, I'm the same, but they should kind of look after it for you. You should have a peace of mind that's going to work on your system. It's not going to break it. You know.
But at the end of the day, Nintendo won't care what you bring out because they don't have the right to say no what you're bringing out. Even if it's that cartridge, it's obsolete. Yeah, they don't care. They don't care really. As long as it ain't copying their IPs, then it's fine. But I know. I said I won't mention them as well, but I know a couple of companies do cartridges, and they're very good and never had any problems in the past with them. And that might, that's the only thing.
I mean, they did put up a statement. I don't know if this is part of that statement. They said they are checking through all games produced by a particular team, because it's not just that game, is it? It's the Pip-Pow. I don't know that game actually. I have
no idea what that other game is. I've never heard of that one. Yeah.
But this particular team has been removed. All games produced by this particular team has been removed, both Rugrats and Pow, from the sale. As for those who've already purchased either title, you can either opt for a replacement from Mr. Run's usual manufacturing partner or apply for a full refund. That's pretty good, to be honest.
Yeah.
That's really good. Those wishing to receive a placement will not need to contact Limit Run. This will be handled automatically. I mean, he got onto it.
I think what they did is they posted it on Sky. No, I get it wrong every time. Is it Sky Blue? Blue Sky?
Oh, Blue Sky, yeah, that's it.
Blue Sky. They advertised it on there, and a couple of people who ordered it got an email with this statement on it.
Automatically. That's pretty
Yeah,
good.
that's why John covered it, because I think he got an email from them about his NES release, and that's when he posted about it.
Right, I want to go cover a bit of news. That isn't news, but I want to ask you why you put this news in there.
Oh yeah.
Right. So, why have you put in Donkey Kong trainers in the news?
Because
and it's not just there. By the way, we've got other news, other ones I'm going to throw in there as well. But go on. Why is it news?
The thing is, with it, these have been going on for a while now, but it's only really now they're only starting to bring them out as a thing, because these are actually official Nike shoes. They're not like someone sat there and designed them.
I'll be honest, I'm not a big shoe person at all. No. I'm wearing the same trainers I've wore for like a year and a half. I burn through them. These look nice. I like them a lot. I kind of like the rugged nature of them.
I like the look of them. I like how you got the jagged Nike.
They look nice, but I don't know, what, 150 quid or something, or $150?
Yeah. And the funny thing is, most people that probably will buy them won't ever wear them.
Oh, that's a good point.
They will literally put them on a box and have them on display or resell them.
I'm so picky with shoes, though. I only wear running trainers because they're so comfy, and any of the shoes end up hurting my feet. So, like, I look at these and go, "Oh, I'd have to try them out first." They probably won't let you try them out first because of those kind of shoes that are collectibles anyway. So,
but
nice.
A lot of these are based on what's the word? Like a universal format design, because these are like I think they're like Air Max 1.
Oh, I see. Okay,
they're part of the Jordan Nike ones.
These ones have got like air bubbles there.
Yeah,
I never really understood this. As a no trainer guy.
Oh, sorry, I've got quite into trainers, actually.
Go on, and you can be alright as an expert.
They are like literally, they cushion your feet. So the impact of when your feet goes down, rather than just having a solid sole, they are cushioning. You feel very bouncy. Because I've got a couple
that's quite good. I don't know if
they've been around since the 90s.
Ever. I don't think I've ever had Nike trainers.
You know what? Honestly, if you ever get to try a pair of Nike shoes on, you'll be like, oh.
Why have they got like coins in them?
Oh, I didn't notice that.
What's that about?
Wait, why coins? There isn't coins in the game.
What is that?
Oh no, there is the. No.
Supposed to be?
Well, I don't know actually.
They look like they kind of like rub against your feet, don't they? Because they come out a bit.
Yeah, it might be just a print on the inside.
Yeah, it might be. Oh yeah, Nike Air. You're right. Yeah.
Because they normally base a lot of them on a certain design, because there's quite a few different ones that do it. Well,
I like this, that rugged.
Yeah, I'm it for the tick. Yeah. You know, the way that's
yeah, it does. It looks very donkey. It does the job, doesn't it? $150. I was going to say it's quite expensive, but that's probably how much I spend on running shoes. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah, and they're limited amount of them. But you say that because I've been getting quite a lot of trainer stuff. Not that I'm buying this stuff. I just kind of been come across it. A resale of brand new shoes like Nikes that are old ones from 80s or limited ones go in the thousands.
Jesus.
They have like sneaker con, and they have people who own shops, and the guys come to them with a box of trainers. I say trainers, but they say sneakers in the US. And they show, and they look at it, and they pull it out and go, how much you want from 10k. And then the guy, instead of going, what? He goes, and he's thinking about it. And then he looks up the value of them, and he goes, oh, I'll give you 8. And they're like, oh, I can't do 8. And you're like, they're a pair of trainers.
Oh my word! And
it's a whole other world.
I'm going to say that about like the way we collect vintage toys and video games, but my God, nothing goes that high really for like a single item.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Because I'm thinking, wait a minute, and these are shoes that are you going to wear a pair of 10k trainers?
No, that's fine.
Is it what I mean? Yeah.
Imagine that.
But it's a whole nother world.
But then people have walls full of trainers, I guess. I can't judge because I have like bloody Hasbro wrestlers over there, do you know what I mean? Yeah. Also, this bag, it's cool, to be honest. I mean,
I love it. Yeah. Me and Danny we pre-ordered each one for each other.
Have you really?
I really want it.
Are they proper big bags? Not those little small ones?
No, if you flick through the pictures on the little arrow, they're the little, yeah. Oh yeah, can you get pencil case bananas? That's a separate product. But you see it on someone's shoulder.
I looks like beans inside then. I thought it was like a big bag of beans.
Yeah, it does have big beans in it, yeah. I thought it. And then there is someone that
that's pretty good,
nice
actually.
Size.
That's pretty good. That's a good size. Yeah, because I always get annoyed by those little lounge fly bags, which look amazing, and then they're too small. You
should see Danny trying to use her. She's got a Jurassic Park one, and little doors open up. Great, but you should see her closing it. She's like,
There's not much space, and I don't think they're aimed at us, are they? They're aimed at girls, not at women, I think.
Yeah.
Like, well, not for me anyway.
But me and Danny, they did do some other things part of the merch as well. That's that's the only thing we are interested in.
That's the one you're going to get.
But the other things I think these, I want your opinion. That's why I put these in there. Right. The only thing I love about this, first of all, if you zoom in on the picture,
is it a complete onesie?
No, it's a hoodie.
Just a hoodie. Oh, yeah. Okay.
But look at the zip. It's a tie.
The zip's
good. Tie.
That's a good touch.
It's good, isn't it?
That's a good touch. Yeah, that's a really good touch.
But yeah, we're not getting one of those.
£50. Wow.
But that alone.
It looks good from the back, though, doesn't it? Looks good from the back. It doesn't. I was afraid it was going to have like a big Donkey Kong symbol all over the back, but it doesn't need it.
No, it's kind of a bit discreet, really. You just got that bit on the front, except from the Diddy Kong, because you've got the big stars on his on his chest bit on there. You got a bit on the top of his head.
What's this little thing there? What's that about?
It's a bit of tufty hair he's got.
Looks like Yoshi's head, and then there underneath.
Oh yeah. Oh god, he's eating him. He's going, let me out
sometime. But no, that's pretty good. I don't really buy that much. Like I think it's when I buy t-shirts.
I'm about to say like
I buy t-shirts. But I never really go to that expense with like with buying crazy hoodies and that. And there's a bag I want, but more case of it's not like a pop culture reference bag. It's a bag more so I can put like film equipment in. It's rugged and you can use it in places.
Oh yeah, more of a useful bag than
like Swiss. I think all these Swiss, not Swiss. Is this all Swiss Army? Made by Swiss. It's called Swiss Gear.
I know what you mean. Really good. I know what you mean. Oh yeah, you got individual padded sections.
Oh, I've got a bag. All right, and I've had it. I must have had it for like 15 years, and it's just like one of the straps is dead, but it's too big now. I want something a little bit smaller, but I've had it. It's lasted that long, and I love those bags. We're talking about toys. I think it's the last bit of news. I think it's the last one, isn't it? Makes sense.
Actually, we managed to get through. Well, the only. Oh no! Yeah. Oh yeah. We have covered.
It's all.
Yeah, we actually passed through that,
which I really wanted to cover because I'm super excited. Even though they got no pictures, I was going to do a video about this, and then I put my video out, and I was like, okay, there's no point me doing a video about it because all they've done is announced the release date and the price of the Game Boy Lego system, and I'm actually quite surprised at how much it's going to be.
Yeah, I'm
a little bit worried as well because of how cheap it is.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be at least 100 minimum. I would have thought, because you know what they're like. Well, how much was the NES TV
one? The NES one was about 250, 300.
Yeah, I was expecting at least 100 for the Game Boy, but then
I think 89. I was thinking, and then with a car for 57.99 or 59.
I know,
and the price is the same as kind of like the Piranha Plant. And
that's actually quite a nice size because Danny's got the Prime.
I want to get one of those at some point, but I feel like I'm 100% going to get the Game Boy. It's just that at that price, I don't know if there's room for them to do anything kind of special with it, rather than just having the Game Boy and just maybe having a cart that goes in it. Do you know what I mean?
It's going to probably come with a cartridge that's got like
and a little display thing. I reckon it's going to be this little display stand to put it on, so it stands up.
Yeah,
and it's going to have a cart of Tetris on it.
They should have a Lego light worm, like the old light on top of it.
That would be nice. All the accessories, the magnifier, all that
carrying case.
Oh, the carrying
made
case.
Of Lego for your Lego.
Yeah, that's it. But for that price, I don't know. I think it's just going to be one of those things that you see in the same. You see the Piranha Plant everywhere. It's like one of those like impulse Lego sets.
Danny's got it. She loved building it, and it's really lovely. And it does actually. The mouth moves around. Yeah. It's got coins you insert. The flowers move in and out. It's
I didn't know that actually. Nice. Put coins in it. That's cool.
You get coin. You press a button, and they fall through the bottom of it.
Oh, that's good. So you can use it as a money box in that way, or is it just like the
you could, as long as it's the size of that coin. So £1 coins and stuff in you could. You couldn't fit that much in, but.
But it's going to be like $57.99, 540 pieces, so not that much. That's not a big build for a Lego.
Imagine if it was just two blocks that went, and then you had the buttons, and that's it. That's it. I don't think
it's going to be basic, but I want it. I think it'd be nice because I've got the NES.
I need it. As soon as I mention that, I need that.
And I do definitely want to get it, but it's out. I think it's 1st of October. Does it say there?
Do you know any? Because I know I love the Lego stuff, but any reason why October? just seems a bit of a random month.
Get ready for Christmas, isn't it? Really, and also,
Oh, well, yeah, of course. Yeah,
I wonder if they know something about the Switch 2 as well. Maybe kind of like stay it a little bit clear.
Maybe link out with your Switch, and then you can use it as a massive amiibo Game Boy.
The leak date isn't that much of a leak because they already said in the original tweet that was out in October. So this is saying when in October 1st. Okay,
it's more of the price that's a leak rather than the date. Leak. I feel.
Yeah, I need to look at it now, but I'm a bit like I definitely want to get it, but I don't think I'm as excited as I was. I thought it was going to be some kind of really interesting thing they're going to do with it, and I think that price and how many pieces are in it, I don't think it is.
Well, look at the NES. You think, well, NES is, you know, whatever you say about NES, the NES is like a square box, right? You think it's not that exciting, but you've got the thing that opens up. You've got the whole TV that has a whole mechanical in it. You think there's quite a lot to the TV.
The TV is insane. The way you can just do that, and the Mario moves across it, and you can get the separate Mario piece to go on top of it, and he makes sounds.
Yeah.
And then you've got the NES that opens up. You can put like a NES cart in it. You can add controllers to it.
Yes.
And at the back of the NES, which I haven't done, you can open it up and it's got I think it's Underground World 1.
Yeah, a miniature version of it, isn't it?
That, which is insane. And I mean, that for me is like that warrants the price because it's super expensive because I didn't get it because Lindsay got me for my birthday that time. But it is incredible. I don't think there's not much you can do with a Game Boy because it's so small.
Yeah, because it's all a one unit.
But I was expecting them to do something that kind of. It's just not just a. It's probably going to be for people who remember having a Game Boy, remember seeing it, and then you can have one now without having to buy one on eBay. It is a Game Boy. Is it like a one that looks like an old Game Boy?
More of an ornament type thing, little build on it. And
I think it's going to be like that. And then you'll get people who will, because you see, like for all these builds, people sell light for these things. Someone's going to sell a little LED.
Little lights and screen in it. And maybe you can link up cable and link up 2 Lego Game Boys.
That's kind of cool, isn't it? But they won't work. They won't work. They'll just
it won't work. But
no, they won't work.
Some Lego batteries that go in there and that. And...
Right, before we get into the questions, I'm going to do the quick boy and his blab. I'm going to give. I won't
going to remind him.
Right, I'm going to do it super quick though because we did it so. It took us ages last time, so we're going to do it really quick. So I'm just going to fire out clues at you until you get it. Okay. So first of all, so put your eyes down. I'm going to show the game. Basically, I'm going to read out the blurb of the back of the game to Plunger, omitting some important details, and Plunger has to guess what the game is. It's a retro game. I'm going to show you guys now. So if you do not want to know, or if you listen to this on audio, it'd be fine. You won't see it. But if you do not want to know, avert your eyes, and I will tell you when I've took the game down. Right. So I'm going to put the game on the screen right now. This is the game. Right. I'm going to take away the game. Now, the game is off screen, so if you want to play along at home, you can play along at home now. Right? Plunger, I'm going to read this out. I think you're going to get this a hell of a lot quicker than all the other ones.
I almost looked round when you said now, and I was like, oh, wait, you're going to show it, not that. But I didn't know.
You're going to get this one. You're going to get this one, right? So, okay.
I
think you're going to get... Oh, God. I just feel like I'm going to read that. Oh, shut up. Right. I think you're going to get this quicker than anyone you've ever got, right? And also, I want the system. I'm not going to tell you the system yet. Okay. Bust the video game speed barrier wide open with something. Blaze by in a blare using the something. Plummet down tunnels and something through space. Bounce around till you're dizzy in a pinball machine. You've never seen anything like it.
I was going to say Wipeout, but you didn't even flinch when I said
Wipeout. No, I thought you could instantly get it, to be honest.
No, really?
God, I'm a bit worried now. I'm a bit worried because I thought you're going to instantly get it. I'm going to go to questions.
Pipe. Because you included a lot of other things in there about pipe.
Yeah. There's some words I have to admit because you go, instantly. Bust the video game speed barrier wide open with something. Blaze by in a blare using the something. Plummet down tunnels and something through space is a word I can't say there because you'll go, oh. Bounce around till you're dizzy in a pinball machine. You've never seen anything like
Spinball.
it. You're close. You're close, though. So there is a spin there. So it says plummet down tunnels and spin through space. So you've got spin in there. You're on the right track. You're on the right track.
I'm so bad at this.
You're on the right track. Come on. What else is fast? What is fast? I mean, maybe what you've just said. Like, massive clue. So what's the game you just said?
I said Sonic Spinball.
Yeah, okay. Maybe it's not Sonic Spinball. Maybe it's something else.
Sonic Adventure.
Maybe it's not Sonic Adventure.
Okay.
Maybe it's something else.
The Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, but what system is it on?
It'd be Mega Drive.
No, maybe it's not on a Mega Drive.
It'd be is it Sonic Chaos on the Master System?
No, it's not. Maybe it's not Sonic Chaos on the Master System.
I'm gonna have to name all of them, aren't I? Well, Sonic the Hedgehog on the Master System.
Yes, it is. It's Sonic the Hedgehog on the Master System.
The pinball bit got me because I think honestly, it's not Spinball.
The space I thought got because what about that? I was like,
what's
wait a
the
minute.
Space all about? That bit totally got me. Because
the pinball machine, I guess, because you're on pinball machines and like the levels. I can't remember. Yeah. But space that really makes no sense. That would have threw me. Actually, reading that to me.
That's the only bit because. Yeah,
I'll read it all, and then you'll go, oh, okay, this is the bit I took out. Bust this video game speed barrier wide open with Sonic the Hedgehog. Blaze by in a Blair using this super sonic spin attack.
Oh, yeah.
Plummet down tunnels and spin through space. Bounce around till you're dizzy in a pinball machine. You've never seen anything like it. So, I would have thought you got that earlier, but again, it's when you're on the spot.
I've never read the back of that box. I've never actually ever read them.
Have you read the manual? I mean, we all say we read the manuals on the way on the bus home, but most of them we didn't. I did for the SNES, and there's one's got too colourful, but I think
it had colours in it. But the Mega Drive Master System, you had little columns with a little bit of English, and
I've got two in this, for some reason. I think one's one's Alex Kidd and Miracle World because it must have came in with a pack in.
So okay.
Yeah, it must have come with that. So it's like, it looks nice enough, but then you look at read it and go, oh yeah, I'll just put.
They're so boring, aren't they? You're like,
it's like work. It feels like I'm doing school or something.
Yeah.
But and Nintendo do a fun one with all the characters decide. Go, ooh, they know what to do. Right, we're going to go to the questions. We're going to ask a few of these, right? So, okay, Gaz Halley asks, at some point or other, we've used cheat codes in games, but can you remember the very first one you used? Go on, what's your first one?
I actually can already. It was definitely a Game Boy because I love the Game Genie that you added on top of the Game Boy.
Oh, God, yeah.
It's a proper big add-on. And on the back of it, you had a little compartment, had a tiny little book. Little tiny book. Do you ever see that?
No, I haven't saw the book. I've got some Game Genie, though. I've never used the Game Boy one, though.
The Game Boy, I haven't got to hand, but the Game Boy one, literally, it plugs in the top, so it makes the Game Boy even bigger, and you put the cartridge in that. But on the back of the Game Genie, a little compartment, and there's a tiny little book in there, and you had to find the code in the book. It wasn't stored in the Game Genie. You had to enter them in manually.
Yeah, I remember doing that. Do you remember what game?
The one I did is for... I'm pretty sure it would have been for RoboCop because I love that game on the Game Boy. But I got to one level and I got to the level where you got the lifts going up and down. I don't know how different it is to the NES, one. But there's a bit, and that bit absolutely wrecked me with the turrets got me, and I used it to have infinite life on there.
Did it ruin it for you then? Because you just like, that's it, you beat it and never put it up again?
I actually disappointed myself. I played through the level and I was like, oh, that's a bit boring.
Yeah.
Because I kind of like...
You lost the satisfaction of getting through yourself.
It didn't matter. You could it's like playing like some arcade games where you could just keep going more credits and just work through it. You haven't got to really...
That ruins it. Like, I love going to like arcade clubs and that, but there's a little element of that where you go, oh, play this, and you can go, oh, play something else, play something else. So I think it's like if you limit the amount of credits you can use, that's probably better, but then you always see something over there and go, oh, I should play that in a bit.
But I did a lot because I found Game Boy game. I loved my Game Boy to pieces, but I found so many games so solid hard that I use the Game Genie a lot for stuff.
I remember borrowing one. because my answer was going to be weirdly enough. It wasn't the first one, but the first one that came to mind was Mortal Kombat 3. Weird enough.
That's random. Okay.
There was like a cheat you can put on the main menu that give you like a debug unit. I was at ABA something like that. And, but it wasn't like one hit fatalities, which I always wish it was.
I was about to say, was it a one button fatality cheat?
I wish it was, but it was. I can't even remember.
With the character on the screen like this.
Yeah, well, I wish it would have been. It was nothing. It was rubbish, but I was because like I was made up. I got a little cheat in it, and I think it's just like a little weird dev unit thing. But talking about Game Genie, I did that with the NES for Mario Brothers 1.
Oh, really?
I made Mario jump incredibly high.
Like, that's quite a fun one.
And that was really fun. I remember just laughing my head off because it was a flip side where I'd played Mario to death.
Yes.
So it was like coming at it from a
yeah.
different angle, like where like
You
could
weren't
do mad stuff.
cheating on it. You wanted to
No.
do something fun
We was
with
doing it, and he'd jump off, and you're just sitting there laughing your head off because he wouldn't come down for like half an hour, and then he'd come down. And we was like playing the game. Where is he going to go? But I remember reading, and I don't know if this was like with all the Game Genies but in the when we were talking about NES carts being ruined, I'm sure I remember reading Game Genies had the same issue where they could wreck your system. But I don't know if it was fear mongering to make you not get them because they were unofficial, obviously.
From what I learned about Game Genie, Nintendo really didn't like the Game Genie.
No,
like because it was manipulating their code.
Yeah,
they were classing it as hacking, or
I think they went against them in court, didn't they? And lost.
They did, and they lost, and they didn't win. Game Genie won.
Isn't that nuts?
It was their property because they said, "Well, we're not actually doing things to the code because we can't write to the cartridge because you had the bypass. We weren't actually doing anything with it." But that was a big law thing with it.
Wow. I also remember playing Smash TV on the SNES and beating that for the first time because he used the Game Genie. On the SNES.
Did you?
Yeah, and I did that with my sister, weirdly enough. When I was younger, we went like, "Oh, do you want to play a game?" I was like, "Yeah, okay." And she was really young then. And I went, "We'll play Smash TV." There's no way she's getting through the first stage on that. Right. And I could never beat that normally. I don't know about you, playing Smash TV gets to the point.
I've not completed it, but it does get proper tough.
It's really tough. It's a brilliant game.
Oh, I love it.
But I beat it with the Game Genie, and that was great to get through that game. But it was kind of as enjoyable in a way because like it's an endurance. You keep playing, you see more stuff you've never seen before.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's always trying to discover what you haven't managed to get to, rather than making it easy because you just the curiosity to see.
Yeah. And I knew myself, I wasn't. I remember playing it all the time and borrowing it all the time because I never owned it. And I was like, I'm never going to be that good at this game. I was always thinking, I love it, but I just don't think I'm going to get to a point where I can get that good. So it was actually enjoyed seeing that through. So I have a flip side of like these things because I don't think I'd ever beat it normally, and I don't really want to because it'd take a lot of work. It's a great game, but I don't know. I don't want to learn it.
But then also Game Genies were good for an action replays, all that sort of range. It helped. It helped people to discover things that we would have saw in the game.
Yeah,
because you can actually unlock bits of code in the game of like placeholders or extra sounds you never get to hear because they were never used, but they left them on the cartridge.
Oh, exactly.
So things like that are very cool.
I'm going to try and put like a banner on the bottom and see what happens with the questions to see if that happens. So if I do this, no, that's the wrong one.
We'll try something new.
Copy. I'm trying something new on the fly. If I edit this, what happens? For the next question. Secondary text, save. Will this
would be good because then
it's a simple banner. I'll edit that in a minute. Let me just let me edit the simple banner. Oh, I can put the name of the person. That was quite good, isn't it? We do this.
I like that.
That's cool. Or should we do? If I do that. That's cool, isn't it?
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
Oh, why would you do this for the house? Sorry, guys, we didn't do that video. It just hit me.
Oh, guys, question. Either one don't count now.
Right. So I'll get the next question ready as you answer that. So, who are some of your favorite YouTube channels is watching one?
I'm
going to listen to this again because I want to get some more YouTubers, especially if like the UK ones as well.
My absolute all-time favorite YouTube account, and no one actually else can copy it. And it's what makes it so genius. My Life in Retro.
Oh! I've edited the wrong one. I've read the wrong one.
What was all going wrong?
My Life in Retro.
Basically,
I know that one. Yeah, go on, tell.
Yeah, it's. I'm very jealous of it as well. But basically, it's about a guy who is talking about his past as a kid because his dad used to film everything with a camcorder. So, and his dad and him were heavily into games of every console and everything. He used to import them and all sorts. This is back in the 90s up to 2000s and that.
Yeah.
But his whole channel and the videos he uploads are literally edits of what his dad filmed of him as a kid. Nice. Playing his games for the first time, Christmas unboxing of stuff, and he could talk, and he knew the history quite well, and it's a nice like tribute to his dad, and for him because they both had that massive bonding of being with video games. And the thing is, that's a piece of history that you could talk about it, but he literally has video footage of him younger. Of him undoing it for the first time and what he got for Christmas. Because, some of us might have a few photos, but he's got footage of him playing it the first time, completing it, his cousins playing it, and it's so unique. He's got 20 years worth of footage that there's no way, no one else can really copy that, because unless you recorded it back in the day, you won't have that footage. So that's quite a big one for me, because it's super unique, and it's also a real, even though he's American in a sense of, like, for us in the UK, we can totally relate to him, even though the other side of the world, they still had a very similar upbringing with how the games got released and how we discovered them. So you could relate to it, even though you're not from that. It was part
incredible,
of the world.
The amount of footage he said. I think he's got. I used to follow him on Twitter, I think, and I don't know if he was saying, like, he had like a finite amount of footage where he's used them all now, but he can still make videos based on some of them, you know, in new ways, and he does other things. But just imagine having all that footage from your family. It's like we're talking about, like, you know, Twitch at the moment, where, you know, it's got that was news we actually didn't cover before about Twitch has got like 100 hours of highlights you can only use at the moment, and there's a little part of you which is like, I kind of want to keep some of that stuff. Like, Linda was talking to me saying, because I wasn't as bothered, going, oh, it's all the stuff I did before I had the camera, and she said to me, oh, but I want to keep all that, you know, just in case, like, I want to watch it, like, you know, years later. And I was like, oh, actually, okay, that's maybe a nice way to kind of keep your, you know, a kind of a library of your footage, you know what I mean, out there.
Yeah.
So I thought that was what I get. Actually, that channel you're talking about, you got me onto that, and there's a couple of channels like that we'll talk about in a minute. But that channel you got me onto, I think we talked about it maybe on one of the early podcasts. Or we just had a chat sometime, and you said, "Oh, we should check them out." And then I devoured loads of it because it was just so sentimental and
it feels sentimental when it's not even your footage, and you totally feel it. You're like,
you get it because you also see the time it was, and you might remember, like, seeing the decor of that era and go, "Oh God!" And it's not that long ago. Like, it's crazy, isn't it?
No, it's not really. No,
it doesn't feel that long ago. But until you kind of hear some of the songs or look at the movies at the time, and go, "Oh God!" and it places, and you go, "God, it actually is." And you see how many years ago it was. It does feel old. I'll go one while you go think of another one.
I've actually got a list of mine, because I actually have a section on my Discord with my favourite YouTubers.
Oh, you have? Okay, well,
we do one each or something. Yeah.
I'll go really basic one then, because one that's not really video games on it. It's Casey Neistat, massive inspiration.
Yeah, I'm a massive fan. He hasn't done anything for a while though, has he?
He used to do daily vlogs. You didn't know Casey Neistat. He's basically just like a daily vlogger, but also an entrepreneur and all that stuff. But he's mainly just like, it does like a vlog of his day, but on paper it sounds the most boring thing, but he's able to do it in a cinematic, entertaining way.
Yes,
and he's always got an interesting perspective. And he was someone got me on something. Like, you should watch this guy. He does this every day. I was like, it sounds boring.
Super got me into him originally.
Oh, did it really? It was always someone else, and you watch him, and it's inspiring. It's inspiring. It makes you think, like, the way, like, he treats New York as a character.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, I could do that with Liverpool. You know, wherever you live is got a story. It was always kind of inspiring to me. And I was thinking, you can just do this on your own as well. Like, he doesn't really need anyone with him. He's just him and a camera, and the kind of inspiration and motivation to go out there and just film yourself and do all that stuff. You know, the stuff that we're kind of doing a lot more of now. That, like, he's been there for years, and it's really paid off, because, like, he treats it as art and filmmaking, and it's just really, it's inspirational, to be honest. So yeah, Casey Neistat's one for me.
Really good, and it's always fun to watch. And he could be just going and get a coffee or a slice of pizza, and he makes it like entertaining.
You want to know, and he makes, like, the person delivering his items, like, interesting.
Oh, you made him a character, didn't he? The delivery guy. Yeah. It's
ridiculous, isn't it? But, like, he's like, but it just shows you what you can do. You know what I mean? It's very inspiring. Go on. What other one have you got?
Another one from mine, which I've done some. There's one that it's. I was trying to explain it. There's a guy. It's called Spencer's Adventures.
Oh.
And he's a guy basically who he's about. It's kind of something that I'm kind of more relating to lately with stuff, but where it's about simple life with simple technology. Like, talking about, instead of having it would be talking about, like, preserving the media, like saying it, because he started collecting VHS, and that's how I got onto it, because he had VHS, and he said, yes, we have all the streaming services, but having that little selection of videos, it keeps you to focus on what films you love, and revisiting and having other sentimental values with it. And it's basically, you just talk about like it's called, like, simple living as such, not like just living with just a chair and a table and nothing else in your house sort of thing. But it's more of like just basically appreciating all the bits and pieces you've got around you, like your vinyl. Again, like a game. You don't talk about games, but you can relate to it with games.
But yeah,
Because you
what
can
you've
say,
got.
oh yeah, well I could just download a whole lot on a retro arch, but it's like, yeah, but I'd rather have 20 of my all-time favourite games displayed and having to play, and then instead of having 10 million
I
games
mean,
of every single
oh
system.
god, I totally agree with all of this. Like, I'm in an amazing state of decluttering at the moment, where I'm kind of getting rid of
Oh,
things
you
that.
will. I think you will
Yeah,
really
I
like
need
his
to watch them.
stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll see links
yeah.
afterwards because
Send
I
me a link
kept them all.
afterwards. Yeah, it seems really good because I
That
need
one I
that.
really like.
Because I'm like I mean I don't want to just throw you in there as well, but like I am definitely a bit of like a retro hoarder. But I need
Oh yeah,
like I always need to kind of reevaluate why I'm collecting,
yeah,
or what's the point, what's in my room looking at, and all that stuff. That's why I'm going over certain things and going, I'm never going to use that. It's just in the loft, and
yeah.
someone else could get some really good use out of that. And so I'm always looking at like can focus on these things that make me happy. The things that are in the loft just get damper and damper every day. Just make me
Yeah.
think, well, that doesn't make me happy, does it? You know, I could do with the spare
Mm.
cash as well. So yeah, I kind of totally get it's
Oh,
kind of narrowing down.
yeah, I think you'll get some bits and pieces off that one. Have you got any other ones? Go. So I have others, unless you need to think, and I can do
Well,
another
yeah,
one.
I'll just jump into Red Letter Media.
Oh yes, yeah.
So I know they're a massive channel now, and they mostly cover like movies and TV stuff. They used to cover video games back in the day.
Oh, did they? I
Yeah,
didn't know
they
that.
did,
I
and
knew for movies.
they
Yeah.
were early on. They had a show where Rich Evans would cover video games with someone else, and that was pretty good. But they obviously knew the strength was in talking about movies, and obviously they
Yes.
needed to niche down. It makes more sense for them. But yeah, they basically cover new movies, old movies. But the best thing is about it, they do this thing called Best of the Worst, where they basically just have like a round table of like trying to find the best out of the worst movies they've watched, or like these videotapes. I don't know if you've ever watched one of those ones where they get like they have like a wheel and they'll spin it, for example, and it'll land on a
Yeah.
VHS tape. And it'll be like the worst thing ever, like
Yeah.
90-year-olds doing yoga or something like that, which
Yeah.
they will find incredibly entertaining. The value of it would be like something from the mid '80s. It'd be so the most cheesiest thing ever, and they'll be
Yeah.
sitting there laughing their heads off, and then they'll like seriously discuss it later on, like crazily discuss it to a finer point and break it down, and it's just incredibly entertaining. And yes, like each of them, like sometimes some of the takes on new movies and things like that can be a little bit cynical in ways. I was saying this today. I don't always agree with everything they say, but I don't think you should agree
but
with
it's their
anything anyone
view.
says.
It's their
Exactly.
view. They're not gospel.
No, it's
you
like with
just-
all these
that's
things,
their
but it's like,
view.
I'm thoroughly entertained by everything they do, and like, and they've got a video out now, which I'm going to watch tonight. Although Linda's going to go mad, which they bought an old Star Trek panel, with you fixed up, and I'm like, well, I'm going to watch that. That's going to be
Panel.
great. You know, basically at the front of like where they'll do like the engineering and all that stuff. You know, watching Star Trek and they're like all the buttons, like a
yeah,
station,
oh, yeah.
a station, I guess I would say. They bought one of those from, I think it's from Deep Space Nine, the TV show.
Oh no! Oh, like the
they're
props
doing
from
up.
it and that.
And apparently
Oh,
it was
right.
thrown
Oh, yeah.
away, and they've got it, and they've kind of like fixed it up because they've started doing things which are outside, just doing like talking about movies. They do things
Yeah.
like that, and they'll do things like they actually did a ghost. Get an investigation thing, which was quite fun as well. I want them to do
Okay.
stuff like that. It's a bit
Yeah.
odd, but like they do odd things now and again just to kind of shake it up.
But
they're
is
a
there
massive
other passions outside
Exactly.
of movies and that? That's what they're kind of
But
introducing.
they're also massive inspiration of like what you can do with other people around
Yeah.
the things you like. They've got a massively successful YouTube channel, and a lot of it's based on like old crappy like movies that everyone was just thrown away, and they turned it into a thing, which is quite inspiring. So that's like my second choice. What about you? What's your
Nice.
what's your next one?
The other ones, it's actually there's a guy called Stop Skeletons from Fighting.
Oh,
And he basically covers history of games, but he don't just do like, oh, here's the history of Mario. He'll do a few more games that you don't necessarily even like would think of, as well as he's got his great series called, I think it's a whole series of consoles we never got, but not even Japan didn't get. There's a whole console he covers where they all the ports of Resident Evil 4. And there was a console that come out in another country. I can't remember the country now, but it was like a really crappy console. They were trying to make it a big deal, and there were certain ports of games that were only available on that system.
Oh, okay.
You kind of got to see the series, I guess, but it sort of covers like forgotten ports and stuff
Yeah.
like that, and a little bit more than like, obviously there's lots of people covering games, but I just feel he's got a bit of a niche with the games that we don't always think about.
It's hard to get a niche in with games as well.
That's what I mean, because everyone's like saying,
but I suppose like you
that.
put your own take on it no matter what you do.
Oh yeah, of course you can do that, and it's like, and then people see, and I can watch a review about the same game by 4 people because I want their own perspectives on it.
Yeah,
even though they're covering the same thing. But yeah, this one's really good. He has done it. He's got a lot of years behind him on other videos, so you get loads to choose from. To be through, yeah, they're called "Stop Skeletons from Fighting."
Oh, that's cool. What a title, by the way. Why are they called?
I know that's the name of the channel. It's amazing.
I can't
remember. I think he does address it, but he's got a very cool intro and stuff. And and he's real. And also, when he's talking about games, it's kind of like when we talk about games, we're very enthusiastic about it. He doesn't go, "Well, there's a game that came out on this system. It only had 20 made." But he's like, "Oh, it's more."
He's really positive about it.
I love it. Animated with it all and stuff like that, which I like.
Yeah. There are loads of people like that. Like, I mean, I think we should turn this into a kind of like a feature where we recommend other channels because we're on YouTube, and I think like maybe this is a question we kind of come back to each time, and maybe like the last of the questions we got.
I'm happy to because I slightly have a bunch.
I think like, the thing is, if we keep naming them, we'd be here all day. So
good point. Actually, I think
like maybe I've just come up with this now, but I think every podcast maybe we just name a couple because there's loads of new ones I'm watching now. I'd love to kind of like, they're quite big as well, but there's loads of like UK ones I'm kind of jumping on. Obviously, all the toy and video games ones, but I think there are a few piece there, so we'll do some more.
Oh, okay, yeah, that'd be a good idea actually, because I could have some in the background. Yeah,
right. This is a question I think for you, really, if it's about naughty, and it is. How cool is this new feature, by the way?
I love that.
When Henna comes, I've just spelled that wrong.
Oh, no, just say no. He spelled it wrong. He spelled it wrong.
He said that. When it comes to CRTs, does size matter? What's your perfect CRT? Is this a joke question?
Actually, no. I would actually take it serious, that one, because like with CRTs and stuff, like at the moment in the games room, I've got it's a 24-inch screen, but you can obviously get a 32. Yeah. But actually, with the size of the room, you don't want it any bigger on display.
No,
I could on this unit, I could have a 60-inch TV right there, and it would be horrible because the distance from where you are and that.
I want to say because you sit on a couch back in the room, you need a big display, you need that big TV. But if I was getting one, say on my desk or whatever,
you could have like a 14-inch, and that'd be perfect.
Be fine. And I've got like a little one over there, but there's no room. But I would love a little tiny one if I could get one. I've also
got a little 9-inch PVM TV as well. It's cool. It's a little TV studio one that I got from Facebook Marketplace a long time ago. And I used to, when I lived in our old place, where I used to like do certain days working from home, or just when I was on the computer, because I was in the front room with Danny, but I would be sitting on the computer, she'd be watching TV. And what I used to do was I used to have the little 9-inch TV sitting on my desk, because I had quite a big desk before, and I'd have my stairs sitting on top, and then every now and again I'd be doing something, and I'd be playing a bit of Super Nintendo. Okay. It's only a 9-inch screen, but it looked gorgeous, and it was just.
Has it got a big back on it though? That's the thing.
It's about it's about that sort of length, but it's perfectly squared, so it's not like like a screen.
Somewhere. Yeah, I'd love to go. Was that pricey? Do you remember? It might be pricier now.
PVM stuff and that lot that cost me, I think, £50 at the time.
That's not too bad.
It's not bad, but
something you can go and pick up. That's
if you get lucky, it's one of those you get lucky.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Yeah,
and that's because you can get this if you can have it close to you. They're really fun to have because you can kind of treat it like a bit of a portable thing.
I remember when I was younger, my dad had, because he used to like work out places where he needed like a little TV with him, and so he bought this is back in the day, so there's this little black and white screen about like that size, and I inherited it, and it was amazing, and I used to like put my specky on it.
Oh, keep talking. I'll say what it might like.
Ooh. He's gonna bring up my dad. He's over here. He's in this little screen, but he had a little tiny screen, and it was amazing. But it's one of those ones as well that you can kind of tune in at late at night, and you pick up someone else's TV next door. The way things like that used to work. When times were exciting, when you could tune in someone else's TV. Oh my god, is that it? That's not it, is it?
No, this is just one of the. This is just one of the ones, a little portable one I've got.
Why has it been signed?
Oh, when I went to an expo in London a while ago, I got a load of people to sign it. I
Oh,
got Slopes Games
that's
Room. He's a
boss.
YouTuber.
Oh
You've
yeah, oh
got
yeah.
who else did I get on it? Nostalgia Nerd. He's on top.
Oh, oh wow.
And it's Asham's. It's Asham's
Oh
one there.
wow.
It's a bit dusty, of course.
Yeah,
But this I bought this at a
that's
car boot
nice.
for like a couple of quid,
Oh,
and you
you're
can plug
joking.
in anything that uses that port. It's black and white, but
It's black and
the idea
white.
was sorry.
Wow, it's black and white.
Yeah, but it came with
Nice.
a power supply, and
Interesting.
it's brand new in the box. And it's meant to be a thing that you're meant to put in your caravan, or
It
take
looks
around.
like
It's got an
it looks
aerial on
like
it
it
now.
should. It's mad that it's black and white because look at it. It looks so modern.
I know. Yeah, no, it's completely bad,
crazy.
but it's very cool. The idea of what I wanted to do was get like a Raspberry Pi, because in the bottom you can put massive C batteries in the bottom of it.
Oh, I see. It runs on batteries as well.
But it does have a power supply in the back as well.
Nice. Oh, I love
But
it.
the idea was I was going to kind of do a retro Pi thing and store it in the base and have like old arcade games
Oh,
running
that's
on
brilliant. Yeah, that's lovely.
it. I've still got it, but I haven't
Yeah,
done
that's
it
a
with
great
it. But
idea.
it
I
works
love
well,
it.
but it was only like £2 at a car.
Oh, I would well
brand
pick up
new.
one of those. I think it's
Speakers and
beautiful.
nice
Absolutely
little
beautiful.
unit.
Yeah, love it.
Never heard of the brand. God knows a brand. Never heard of them.
No, but you're right. Yeah, it's probably because I remember staying in caravans. Like your auntie or your nan or whatever always had a caravan. Someone always in your family's got a caravan, and you stay on it. And yeah, we used to go on a little TV you could hardly see, but you didn't mind
Yeah.
because that's what TV is always something
If
like
you were
that.
just away from home and you watch anything,
You'd watch
it's like having a
anything.
Game Gear with a TV
Oh
tuner.
God! Oh my God! That'd be amazing. Right, next question. How good is this system? Though I'm loving this. Though.
Oh, I'm loving this.
I need to
Yeah.
load this up next time. Okay. What was the worst burger you ever ate? Gamer Sam says, I haven't got an answer for this. I don't know.
This was for another joke thing, because there's a meme about a burger and cheese. I have no idea. I feel really
I don't
old.
get that.
I don't get it either. It's like a
I was in your
beef
stream and you were saying it,
burger?
and I was like, I don't get it. I don't get it. I
don't
don't
know.
get it. Well, moving on. Right. Sorry, Sam. I don't get it.
Sorry, Sam.
Recon says, have you ever been late to an important event or taken a day off work because you prioritized gaming? If so, what was the event and why was the particular game so important to you at the time? Oh God.
Oh, I kind of had something for it, but not for an event, but something worse. My education.
Oh God, yeah, that as well. Yeah.
Me and Super 8's Gamer, we got into Guild Wars on PC.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
And we ended up like taking days off of uni to sit and play that all day.
Oh my God. Yeah,
We
I
actually
get it.
left early and we went, sorry, should we go off and play that? And we played that like.
I think I had similar things like with work, and I can't remember what games it was, but it was like Sony actually. This is the worst thing. I was playing something all night with some people. And it would be multiplayer, and I go, oh my God, all the time. And then I had to go into work, and I remember like falling asleep at my desk. And the way where it was, we had like 3 people in a team, and then the team leader. I sat next to the team leader.
Oh, great! Yeah, nice.
So I'm like,
meant to see the back of the class. That's how
I think
it works.
we were testing, like, because I was a tester. I was reading like spreadsheets. It was boring as hell. For
great! That really must have helped.
So you like, and it was being like sports questions as well. You know, I'm not interested at all, and you got to check the spelling, you know, like that. And I'm just like, I remember someone just on my shoulder and went, "Steve, go get yourself a can of pop." And I was like, yeah, okay. And I was just like, you know, when you just like, they're scared then because you just never done that in your life, you're like, I'm gonna be alert now. That was from staying up and playing. It might have been like the first Borderlands or something like that, because I played that with a couple of people.
Yeah.
You know, at that time it was just like,
time consuming for a lot. It
was exciting at the time, wasn't it? Because it was like, oh, you can play these games. And I remember being kind of disappointed about that game because there was no big bosses or anything like that. I wanted a big boss fight. I got that out of Destiny years later. So good question, very good question.
I like that one.
Okay, last one we've got for this week, I think. Oh no, sorry, Steve's one. We did tease that before, and then we got one more. Okay, who was the thing? Okay, who was the thing at the end of the film? The Thing was McCready or Childs or neither? Good question. Lovely question.
Yeah.
My answer. I don't want to spoil it, but do you want to see yours? Have you got an answer? Because I've got an answer.
But it's 2 ways to do it. You kind of could do. I kind of have that sort of like the fog ending. Do you know the fog ending where it's just the depressing one where they're fine and it's all for nothing and they kill each other? Oh, is it in the Mist? Is it where they're in the cart?
Yeah.
I kind of feel like with that in the sense of they have got rid of it and they're the last 2 and it has gone, but they end up having to do something trying to word this in a nice way, do something and it's all for nothing, and that's kind of like the dark ending. That's my point of view.
Yeah.
What's your one?
My opinion is it's all of them. All of them. You're supposed to pick one. I don't. I mean, I know for a fact, to be honest, because we're watching the director's cut and all that stuff.
Oh, right, okay.
That they didn't have an answer. It was they wanted to leave it open ended. Because someone suggested it to John Carpenter, and he was like, "Yeah, that's a great idea. Let's do this. Like, let's do it like this." I think it might have been Kurt Russell who actually says, "What happens if you just say, let's stay here for a while and see what happens?"
Yeah.
And then John was like, "Oh yeah."
I like that because it creates more conversation around it, doesn't it?
Exactly. It would have been, and it was just a big action movie. I mean, as much as that movie is amazing for the special effects and all that, I think the ending really does like open her up for like, oh god, what happened?
Yeah.
And it actually suits the movie because it's all about paranoia.
Because it's all about paranoia. You never know. Like the audience, we don't know.
We don't know.
Not really,
and that it leaves it to us as we're walking out of the cinema. We don't know either. And I think that's a perfect ending to it. So I kind of like don't want to know if there was ever an answer.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, when they come out and explain it, you just go, oh.
Do you ever see the video Just by Radiohead? Do you remember that video? Where they're all singing on like a tower block, and at the bottom there's like the people walking around. There's a guy who just suddenly walks around, and he goes on the floor.
Oh, lays that, and everyone lays on the floor.
Lays down, and he's like, "Why are you lying on the floor?" And he's like, "I can't tell you. If I tell you,
he whispered, and then they all do it.
Everyone's doing it.
Yeah.
If it was revealed to you, because I remember the time I'm going, "What is it? What is that?" And he's like, "No, if you get revealed to you, it will ruin it."
It's like a magic trick.
You're not supposed to know. You're supposed to know it's just like, oh my god, it's something so incredible or something unspeakable, unthinkable that would make you do that. But
like how the world's going to end.
If it tells you that the world's going to end, you'd be like, oh, okay, is that it? Okay, here, I'll move on with life now. It is a magic trick. As soon as you know, it's not a magic anymore, is it?
Yeah, that's one. Yeah, like, and it leaves years of secret, and because at the end of the day, like whoever makes whatever it is, the end of a film, a music video, and all that, they could literally say anything. Go, oh, I don't know, it's because this reason.
No sellotape left.
Mean they've planned it out. They've probably not even thought about it properly.
No, exactly. There's blue tack monsters that are going to attack you in your sleep or something. Oh, quick, get on the floor. You wouldn't like it. Right, last question for this week. And I'll set these up for next time. It'll be good ahead of time. If you won the lottery, gamers, Sam saying, if you won the lottery, what game-related thing would be your first? Oh, such a good question. I wish I would have thought about this. Follow-up question: if you could buy anything Laserdisc related, what would you? I'd probably get a Laserdisc.
Get a player first.
Get a player first. That'll do me, yeah. And then, but I don't want it but if I won the lottery, then I might think about it.
But the thing,
Go on.
Yeah.
No,
when it comes to like lazy stuff, the problem is, right, if you had the money to buy every single game you've ever wanted, it's a weird thing to say, but I feel like you'd ruin the magic a little bit.
Of course, yeah.
If you could buy a complete NES collection tomorrow, you get the whole lot for nothing, right? I get it. You get it, it'd be great, but I would be like, but then part of finding them and collecting them and individually getting them and knowing why you bought that one game kind of like it focuses on it. It's like a Neo Geo one. They're expensive games, but if you only bought one game, you play that one to death.
Yeah,
because you couldn't go out and buy all of them. But I think with like this sort of thing, I would probably say something that wasn't necessarily required, like a big hardware thing, like an arcade type thing.
Yeah, I was thinking arcade, like I don't know, classic Donkey Kong unit would be quite nice. But again, like it's not like it's something super expensive. There's like loads of little grails I had like in toys and all that. I had like a Ghostbusters Firehouse, but they only go for about 120 quid.
Yeah,
something like that. They're not that expensive for the lottery win.
Maybe. Right. What about a brand new one, like dead old stock type of thing?
Oh, and
because then you could do that way. Because they will be the money kind of thing.
Yeah, they will be. But then it'd be like, if it's all boxed, would I open the box? Because I'm stupid. I probably would. I'd probably have to. Mm-hmm. But you're right though about like, because it's the sad fact about being a collector. The best bit is finding it. The worst part of it is putting your shelf because you instantly kind of thinking about the next thing.
What's the next thing?
It's terrible, isn't it? It's awful.
Yeah.
That's what we've got to like reconnect with the things you collect. Otherwise, it ruins your life.
I guess the thing I would like to have would be like they are expensive but hard to get hold of. So if that wasn't, imagine like say if you won the lottery, obviously you could pay someone to like try and source one. You know what you want, but you know you won't be able to acquire it, so you get someone else to pay them to source it. I would say like some sort of kiosks. Like I'd love to have like the Game Boy one.
That's good.
With
Yeah,
the little CRT TV
no,
one.
that's good.
Something like that. Look, you can't necessarily just throw money at
What was that
someone.
Nintendo one that got unearthed? And I think they did the Cave channel did one, the RMC Cave one with the unearthed and a NES. You knew one where they could play multi carts, and it was one that used to have in curries. One of those would be cool.
Yeah,
I love the idea of that. That's really good. Yeah, I like that. It just looks nice for your room, wouldn't it? Just be
and maybe like helping someone to like help to restore it or whatever. Again, that would cost money to do that sort of stuff. So that's where I'd probably invest some money into that side of things.
Yeah, I mean, there's things video game wise where I go, I really want it, like especially for the Nintendo stuff. Like, but the stuff that you've already got, you know, the Virtual Boy and the Run the Robot. I would love those. Like that would be nice for my NES collection. There would be things that go, okay, I can get one of those now, and don't have to worry about like, oh, it's a big purchase.
A lot, you could probably buy all of them in one go.
Exactly.
But then...
a legion of Robs, maybe that'd be amazing.
Yeah,
but, that wise, and then toy wise, just like I mean, Star Wars.
Yeah, what would be our toy one to find then? I'd say like, even if it's super rare to get hold of, what is there one thing out there, like one particular toy? Like it's kind of on Sam's question, like say
really expensive.
The most expensive thing you want.
The first one that comes to mind that's really expensive and super hard to get is the original Boba Fett figure. So when Boba Fett was originally announced, he had this like little contraption in the back.
I've got a story to go along with this.
We fired out this like missile.
Yeah.
And then when they actually released it, it was all stuck on. It couldn't do that because they were worried it was going to hit,
some kids' eyes out,
or they're going to swallow it or whatever like that.
Yeah.
But there were early versions of it created, and that early version of that toy is super expensive to get in your collection. But it's one of those holy grails of like Star Wars collector's items.
My friend at school had 2 of those.
What? How?
That shot out the rockets, and I remember him showing that to me.
What?
Like this was like when we was literally at like.
Was this kid at school Richard Branson or someone?
I don't know. I don't know what it was. His dad had like a very good job, and I think he used to go to America a lot and stuff. I don't know what it was now. I don't know, but he did have 2 of the Boba Fett, and he even said to me. But I remember back in the day where he said to me, "I'm going to keep hold of these because it might be worth something sometime." Yeah, and unfortunately, I don't speak to him anymore, so I've no idea if he's still got it anymore. But he did have that fired out little rockets. Because I remember I went, "God, they're a bit." Because it went.
I don't even think they actually were actually released or whatever.
I don't know how he got hold of them.
Very small capacity, if so. But bloody hell, that's a massive one. Yeah, that's a massive one. That's the first thing that comes to mind. Like, but I also, as much as like, I'm trying to just collect Ghostbusters, as you know. But at the moment, I've got to look up at Star Wars and think, are you going to collect any toys and get into that? I think like are you looking at toy lines.
Yeah, kind of really. Well, I would, even though they're a very expensive line, but I would like to, I know I always joke about it in the channel, but I would like to get some of the GoBots and the original names. I thought they're called Robo Machines, or whatever they are. That's the original names. Like some of them, there's a Beetle one I want to get. It's a metal die-cast one, and I spotted it at that toy fair that I went to in December, and I was like, it was a weird memory. I went, oh my God, I had one of them, and I kind of I was sort of obsessing trying to get one of those.
Yeah.
So
you want to get stuff that you had as a kid, like
it's kind of starting out on that route, and then get into. Oh, I like that.
Branch out.
Yeah, like your video when you saw the masked truck, I was like, oh
God, yeah, right there.
I want it, stuff like that. And I get a couple of Ghostbusters because years ago I got a car boots, and I have got a little shoebox full of some action figures in.
Nice.
And maybe more of the turtle range. Like I'd love to have the original wagon or the blimp.
Oh God, yeah. Technodrome would be nice, wouldn't it?
Technodrome, yeah. I never had a Technodrome. Oh, that's probably it's a slippery slope, isn't it?
Yeah, that's why I think it's worth just focusing on one line.
Yeah,
because then when you go out to toy fairs and all that, you're not just looking at everything. You're looking for something.
Yeah,
because that stuff will always be there. But you haven't got a wallet for everything. That's what we talk about this now because, like, obviously we both put a couple of videos out. Check out Plunger's channel in the description, and you can check out my latest video.
Does some videos.
And it is really tough to focus on like the things that you want. and I had a bit of an on the latest video. I had a bit of a like how much I wanted to spend, and like I'm doing a follow up next week, but I went over like, and I was like, oh no, because
when you
I was
watch
like,
it, you'd understand. I was literally with Danielle going, "Oh, look at that! Look at that! Look at that!"
It's just so much. And the other thing is, like, it's same thing with yours, right? You're at the NEC one, weren't you?
Yes,
And
yes.
the stuff you're looking at when you're filming it, everyone's going, but you didn't see that. You didn't see that. You only got one pair of eyes. Everyone's seeing the whole thing because everyone's seeing a whole like canvas of everything. It's the same with my video. People going, you missed this, you missed that.
It's overwhelming, and you do totally pass it by, and you don't know why you've done it.
You do, yeah. And then like there was like a bit in that video where I went back and saw this like a Danger Mouse thing. I didn't see it first. I was like, oh god, and I was like, I really want that, but I didn't see it the first time. It wasn't there. It was just camouflaged because I was looking at something else.
Yeah.
But that's how these things work. So yeah, we're talking about YouTube because I think like at the end of the stream, I think we should the podcast. We should kind of have a little update of like what we've been up to. So what have you released recently on YouTube?
Well, I've got some videos in the works and some released and scheduled. I got a bit mad recently, so I finally released my December NEC Toy Fair video. It's mostly me filming around the venue, all the tables, and
that's great.
And the idea, that, like you were saying in the comments, I literally wanted to film it as slow as I could with the camera, so you could pause it in and look at stuff, because it's all very nice me zooming in on one toy, but you might be looking at the one next to it that I'm not getting to.
Definitely.
So I was trying to kind of get everything in shot, so you could go, look at that.
So much.
You know,
there's so much. There's no Motu stuff and Ghostbuster stuff I was looking at. I was like, oh my god, I want that.
And the stuff you didn't know even existed, I spotted there. So, and even Danny was like excited for the stuff. So yeah, that was that video I finally released, because the lighting in the NEC is not that great, and trying to get it looking, it's as best I could get it with the lighting. And today of the day of this, we're recording this, my other video went live.
Nice.
My Lego Bowser build.
Nice.
It went from 17 hours, and I've squashed it down to a 11-minute time lapse video.
Was that? Oh god! when you imported that video? Did your computer just die a little bit? 17 hours?
No, no. It was 3 streams.
Oh yeah.
Of 6 hours. Yeah, it worked out as 3 separate days.
Okay.
And then I basically took them down. But it's funny though, because I had to speed up the footage. So it's like, I thought, I know, 200%. And it still said like 4 hours. I went,
it's going to do way more than that.
I was like 10,000%. And then it actually went down. But
at first I thought you were going to include the comments and things, because it'd be like, but it'd be like nuts, be like this, like trying to keep up with the comments on the side or whatever. But you haven't got comments on the actual video, have you?
No, because I wanted to focus, because there was so much more on the screen. Like we had, like when I was doing in recording, we had the Lego instructions, we had what music we were playing, because we did it as just a casual stream over New Year's, and then a few days after that. But I wanted to focus on like showing it being built as sort of like throughout the process, and so I got down to about 11 minutes. I was really pleased with that, and it couldn't done it without fully recorded. And then so there's that one that went up today. Hopefully like the day before this is released, I'm assuming. That one's up, and then I've got one scheduled for next week. It's my first of my I've called it C Shop Adventures, Charity Shop Adventures.
C Shops,
yeah. And I basically because the camera got a Christmas from my half, we kind of I'm making sure to actually film some stuff. So I've actually got that episode ready to go, but I scheduled it for next Friday. I'm trying to release a video every Friday or every 2 weeks.
Nice.
At the moment, every Friday, because I've got another one lined up after that. So it's been quite good, and I finally got past that barrier of talking to the camera while walking in public.
It's hard, isn't it? It's hard.
It's tough still, but I managed to do it. So that's literally next week. But this week, literally come out was the Lego build Bowser.
And
so
you're live streaming as well on the channel now as well.
Sorry, of course. Also, and that's kind of helped me to want to do so, because like it's a bit barren the channel, because I've only got like 2 other videos on there, and trying to find time to edit them and try and do something with it. But I think doing live on there as well has helped to kind of put some other content on the channel, and it's boosted me to want to put more stuff on it.
Yeah, that's
so a bit like yourself. So that's
populated, isn't it?
Kind of
what makes it look bigger. And yeah,
backup.
it's nice. I obviously love YouTube. I think it's absolutely brilliant. As soon as you start seeing all the videos will pop up, it looks all nice. You want to kind of keep it neat, and you start doing you'll start doing all your playlists.
I've done my playlist already. They're going into a playlist.
There you go. You get excited doing all that.
Because I've got little. I'm trying to focus. I've got like the charity shop ones. I've got like anything that's gaming related. Trying to segment them separately to do some different bits because I'm a bit all over the place on what I want to do. Laser discs and stuff like that. But
well, I think for you as well, because you kind of just starting on YouTube. It's like a good way of just like you just do anything and you kind of find your way and go, oh, I enjoy doing this more than that one or whatever, and then you'll start kind of finding a path with it. So I don't think it's like a good idea to have like loads of rules at the moment for yourself.
And it's all a learning process for me, but
totally.
I think scheduling videos to be released is quite exciting because it's like once it's done, I can upload it, go boom, and because it confused me today before we started the podcast, I was on YouTube quickly for looking at. I don't know what I was watching, and also I saw my video. I went, oh, what's that? Oh yeah, I scheduled it.
There it is.
So that's
amazing. And you can think about the next one. If this is good, so you get that one done.
Next one, I need to edit yet, but I mean that's the same with yourself because you've got quite a few different projects on YouTube.
So what have I done since the last podcast? So I did a video where I unboxed those of Dungeons and Dragons stickers.
You went, no, don't want it.
All these things, which are amazing. Like I love doing that, and I kind of like I wanted to give it an honest review, so it wasn't all like these are great and all that. So I kind of talked about the ups and downs of like how they're built and all that stuff. And it was just basically kind of a little bit off the cuff, just completely opening all of them and chatting about them. So I enjoyed that. I'm going to do unboxing now and again. And the other one I did was one I released yesterday. But also, from now on, I've turned on channel memberships. You might have seen everyone's looking at my YouTube channel. A few people have bloody joined up, which is amazing. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you were like, oh, there'll only be one person sitting on there on their own.
I honestly thought, and it's not just me saying that, because, I'll be honest, I thought there'd be one. And because, I feel like there'd be at least one, and one person joining. Well, there you go. Yeah. And then next day, a couple more people. It's like, oh my god.
It's a ball rolling type of thing, isn't it? It's always the scariest start.
And you'll see it at the end of every video, and you'll see the end of this one as well. If I can remember to put it at the end, you'll see people's names and stuff like that. But you also get the videos early, which is what happened for this week's video, which actually came out publicly yesterday, which was my wife and me going to Southport to the, what the hell's the place called?
You always forget the name of it.
I always forget because it's such a simple name, and I can't remember. I watched it. I want to say Indigala. It's not like that. It's something. It's in the market anyway. It's amazing. And we're saying it because that intro I do with the phone. I had to say to Lynn so many times, "What's the name of it?" And when I went to do it, I went, "What's the name again?" She was like, "Come on, did you do it? What's the name of it?"
Oh yeah,
and I only did it in one take. But I had to get that name in my head I don't know why, I just kept forgetting it. But anyway, at the end,
you got the telephone number for it. I don't know how you got the number. Look it up. I didn't call yourself.
They rang me. It's unbelievable. But I'm doing a follow up to that video next week. I've got to edit this footage where I talk about what I picked up. I know I did a bit of a wicked on you with a 2-parter, but it was so long, and it was just like one of those ones where I could have edited it and made one simple video, but it was like I kind of like want to keep this because it's also.
To be fair, you had so much footage going around the place. Yeah. It's nice to separate it because if you went around and went, "Oh, it's a nice little shop," and then you were done in like one swoop.
Yeah, you forget it.
Yeah,
you forget it, and also I wanted people to kind of see stuff that we see there, and then try and guess what stuff I picked up later on.
I've been trying to guess as well.
I've been trying not to give it away, but there is stuff that has already been shown that I did pick up. So that's been quite fun.
I missed that.
But the plan is I'm going to try and get that one out next week, and I am trying to work on a kind of review type video where I go over like games in my collection. Just trying to do it in a fun, exciting way for me. I know other people do stuff like that, but I want to justify having a retro collection and to kind of go back. And I could utilize a lot of the playthroughs I've done. Like last year, I played 100 games, and I thought, well, why don't I use some of that? That's my footage. I could use that for reviews and do a review around it.
Well, one thing I find is a bit more unique with you doing them reviews. When people get review copies of games or they do a review, they've played it for that review.
Yeah,
you've just played it more fresh in your mind, and you've put the hours and time. So you know all the little things that's annoying or bits that you loved.
Yeah,
and then when you're kind of.
I'm probably going to spoil it as well because if I beat it, I'm going to talk about the bosses and then talk about the last boss, and it's going to be like a spoiler thing. I just feel like you've got a collection and just sometimes it just sits there gathering dust, and if I can kind of like commit it to kind of a video series, it'd be good for me and maybe other people enjoy it. It's kind of a vault or something. But anyway. You can check out Plunge's channel in the description, as I said before. You can give him a follow. He's just hit over 100 followers, I think, around 100, aren't you?
I think 102 I checked
102?
just before we went on. I was like, oh, where'd that come from?
Amazing. I mean, you'll be 1,000 soon. You get 1,000 and you're going to get your watch time hours because you're streaming, you're multi-streaming, so your watch hours are going to go up. So you don't even have to worry about the watch hours. That'll come up from YouTube, from your streaming. So it's just the 1,000. So go and help him out and go and give him a couple.
And I'm planning lots of more videos. I've got at least 3 more videos I've got set up.
Amazing.
And, so I've got more bits set up. So I'm actually not going to let it just die after like one video.
I'll 100% be meeting up.
The bug.
I was already thinking about this recently. I want to meet up and me and you go and do some like charity shop hunting thing or go toy hunting, go to conferences together, and we'll both film a video on both on our channels and stuff like that. And that'll be quite good, won't it? We'll do that.
For that.
But anyway, thank you so much for listening or / watching this podcast. We'll be back in the next couple of weeks with episode 14. All the cereal's gone.
Gone.
There's a bit on your. Is that some on your spoon there? On your spoon?
No.
Put your spoon up.
There is nothing on it.
If you got this far, can you say hashtag cereal war crime? There you go.
Hey, look.
Yeah, look at that. Yeah, we saw
nothing there.
Look at that. Look at that suspicion. I've just seen it. You couldn't even hide it.
That was a pixel, dead pixel on your screen.
Oh, is that dead pixel? Oh, it's mad that dead pixel moved around.
Nothing there.
Thanks, everybody. See you next time. Bye-bye.